What Lonzo Thinks is a wide-ranging, free-flowing discussion where I offer my unsolicited views on everything from music, movies, politics, sports, religion, pop culture, you name it. If it's happening, I'm talking about it. My thoughts are unsolicited, nobody cares, but I care, and damn it, that's all that matters. All right, I am back with a special guest, Jake Wade. Son, what's the business?
Yo, happy Easter.
Oh yeah, it is Easter. Uh, the celebration of the death and rebirth of Christ, right?
Yep,
Okay,
he is risen.
he is risen. Okay, you know I never really understood or got into Easter. Easter always meant to me was the bunny rabbit and the damn Easter egg hunt and you go to church, but I never knew why. I think I never even cared as to why we were going to church and what we were celebrating in church for Easter. It's just something that never resonated with me. I guess because I'm a backslider. So I don't know. Celebrating someone getting murdered. So something about that just never sat well with me. So what are your thoughts?
Well, it's not really, celebration of someone being murdered. It's a celebration of, you know, your your Savior actually fulfilling His promise to come back and give you your salvation. So, um, man proving that He is God. So that's what it is. It's not really, yay, they killed him. You know, um, and as far as like, the Easter Bunny and all that, I mean, that's just dumb commercialization of the holiday,
Here comes
much like
Peter
Christmas.
Cottontail hopping down the rabbit trail.
That has nothing to actually do with what Easter is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But they always have to tie um, some sort of product or something into a holiday, especially a religious holiday. So for people who are not religious, you got to create some sort of fake thing that you can sell to kids. So for Christmas you have the Fat Man Santa bringing you presents. Then on Easter you have a freaking rabbit, a giant monstrous rabbit that is delivering
Yeah.
eggs or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just
In a
that's
basket.
ridiculous.
Yeah, you get the big Easter baskets. You pay $1,000 for it. Got all candy and that kind of stuff. I mean, Easter is not my favorite holiday. I guess I'll just
I don't even think about it most of the time, quite
yeah.
honestly. I don't. I am not active in church as I used to be, so I don't go to church on Easter. Therefore, I don't really think about it so much. But at the same time, I am a Christian, and I do believe in what the holiday stands for. So in that regard, it means a lot to me. But as far as the open celebration of it with people and like doing things and buying stuff, no, I don't do that.
Ditto. So, but happy Easter to everybody out there that does or do participate in all the festivities and everything and celebrate the torture and murder of another human. So happy Easter to you folks. So
Right.
that being said, we're going to discuss the top 50 hip hop album covers in history. So there is a site called allhiphop.com. They have like various hip hop lists and everything, and they decided to list the 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 50 best hip hop album covers of all time. So I figured we go over the list and give our opinions as to whether or not uh, this list is accurate and whether or not we agree with their sliding in choices and all that good stuff. So what are your thoughts before we jump into this damn thing?
Well, I think a lot of times these lists can be very iffy, and you take this stuff with a grain of salt. But I wonder what the criteria is that they use for iconic. What do they mean by iconic? Why is it that they've chosen these particular albums to be iconic? I don't. I would like to know. They don't give you an explanation on that at all. It's just they just start with the list. So it seems pretty arbitrary, but you know, they might be right in some cases. So I mean, I'm willing to check it out.
So, what are the odds that there's a backpacker involved in this list?
Uh, Pretty freaking high. Usually, you know, I don't think you're going to come across someone who's not a backpacker making a list like this. I mean, usually if you do, it's all going to be like trap garbage, like all stuff from the past decade.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but you know, they're probably going to go pretty deep with it, and if that's the case, they're going to be backpackers. However, backpackers aren't necessarily bad. You know, sometimes it is bad. In this case, it may not be. You know, I have an open mind.
Well, I don't, so I'm skeptical. I'm expecting to see some trash on this damn list. Let's do this damn thing. So we'll give our brief snapshot opinion of each album cover, and we'll kind of move on from there. All right. First up is number 50, Criminal Minded by BDP, Boogie Down Productions. Now BDP is one of the groundbreakers when it comes to hip hop music. They're one of the KRS-One. He's one of the godfathers of hip hop. And I remember this Criminal Minded LP. And on the cover you have KRS-One, and that's Scott LaRock, right? And Scott LaRock,
Yeah.
the late Scott LaRock, on the cover, and they're basically they're holding guns, and it's they have the title "Criminal Minded." And I think what this album makes it so iconic is what it represents. It represents a shift in hip hop, towards more urban gangster type themes, and way, kind of shifting away from the party vibe of hip hop music. And plus, I mean, it's BDP, who is one of the Godfathers. So at number 50, I think number 50 is a little low on the list. I would have it a much higher than where it is. So I'm gonna say, starting off, these backpackers are fucking up. It should not be number 50. Go.
Uh, well, I would say that first off, it deserves to be on this list. So they got something right. Um, is it iconic? Yes, it is, because, like you said, it marks a shift into something more, something darker and harder than what people are used to, and it definitely brings to mind some sort of imagery of, like, militant, uh, sort of Black Panther like uh, imagery. So it looks great. Uh, Wonderful photography, and just I don't know. It really, it's very stark. It really just kind of hits you, and with the bullets and all, you don't really. If you want to listen to this album, you can see, well, I think this is something that's going to challenge me, and it is a challenging album, and you can tell it from the way it looks on the album. So I think it's great. Does it deserve to be number 50? I mean, I guess it really depends on what comes after it, because, I mean, is it the best album cover I've ever seen? No, it's great, but, I've seen some really great album covers in my life. A lot of times I've actually bought albums based on the cover. And as far as this goes, if I had never heard anything from this and I saw this cover, this day and age, would I buy it based on that? I'm not sure about that. So we'll see, but it definitely deserves to be here.
I agree, and I have to be transparent. Full disclosure: I have never owned this album,
Oh, really?
Criminal Minded. For whatever reason, I don't know why. I never bought it. Friends of mine had it, and obviously I made copies and that kind of stuff, but I never actually had the master, the actual off the shelf, off the rack version or of this album. But I've listened to it a billion times, so there you go.
I would have thought that you did have this. I don't own it, but I thought you would have had
No,
it.
never owned it. Never owned it. Never owned it. By all means necessary. I have that one. I bought that one, but this one I didn't. And a little fun fact, or maybe not a fun fact. Scott LaRock was actually killed due to gun violence. So prophetic.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I think that caused that caused BDP's shift from more gangster music towards more positivity and non-violence in their music.
Yeah.
So and obviously Kiara is one has been a staunch advocate of stopping the violence in our neighborhoods and our community. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right, next up is Cardi B with Invasion of Privacy. Of course, Cardi B, she's one of the queens of hip hop now. She came onto the scene a few years ago, and she's basically taken, the female black hip hop genre, by the throat, and she's probably right now at the top of the heat, along with people like Nicki Minaj and what's her name, Megan the Stallion. Obviously, she's 50% of the WAP controversy and everything. So Cardi B, um, now the album cover is a shot of her sitting in a chair. It's very colorful in a black and white outfit with golden hair and shades. And I mean, the album cover itself. I mean, it basically, album covers are I think are supposed to tell a story and invite you into that album. So from an invitation standpoint, if I didn't know anything about Cardi B and I saw this record, I'd be interested in finding out more about her. But it is not a top 50 album cover. It is decent, you know. And she's a good looking young woman and everything, so that kind of helps. And the little snarl on her face and everything. I mean, visually, it is visually inviting, but still is not a top 50. Go.
Yeah. I agree. It is visually inviting. Um, it is very much fashionable. It is the type of thing that you would expect from a top photographer. This is a portfolio shot right here. Um, it's very well done and it's beautiful. Um, it does not tell the story of the album. I don't know what the album's about, quite honestly. But uh, I can tell you, just by looking at the title of the album, Invasion of Privacy, and then looking at the cover, what does this have to do with anything? The only thing that I see that ties into the title is that it has a little recording thing at the top there, as if she's on a camera. But other than that, this album doesn't say Invasion of Privacy to me. I don't really know why she chose this. Does it look good? Yeah, it does, but um, it is not something that makes me want to listen to this album, and I do not think it's iconic. I think a lot of people would think so, at least this day and age, they would. But I don't agree with that. So, no, doesn't deserve to be on this list.
I agree. All right. Next up is at number 48 is Eminem with the Marshall Mathers LP. It is the follow up to his debut album. What was the title of his debut album? Do you remember? Was it the Shady, Slim Shady LP?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Slim Shady LP. Yeah, it's the follow up to the Slim Shady LP. It's him looking destitute and he's on the street like he's homeless or whatever. It's in black and white. I mean, he's Eminem. Of course, he's the biggest selling hip hop artist of all time. All that kind of stuff, but that has nothing to do with the album cover. The album cover is kind of nondescript. To me, it wasn't very inviting. It is not very inviting as far as if I've never heard of Eminem and I see this album cover on the rack today, I'm not going to be intrigued enough to want to buy it. So I think when we go over this list, man, we have to look at this list from a standpoint of ignorance and assuming and pretending that we don't know anything about the artist. I think that'd be a better way of looking at it. That being said, no, it does not deserve to be in the top 50. Go.
Um, okay, so you just said that he's on the street looking homeless, and that's not ever what I thought it was. When I look at this, it looks like he's chained to something in the basement.
Is that a basement? It looks like a street.
It might be. It might be a street. I've always thought it was like him chained to something in the basement.
Nah, it's not a basement, man. Cause I see brick and that's he's outside. And I see a bottle. Is that a bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bottle. Hmm. Well,
See, there you go. See, we're kind of proving it right there. We don't even know what this shit represents. I mean, you know, he could be in the basement, could be in the street, he could be in the fucking beach. What we know. You know?
yeah, I mean, so okay, if we come to it from a point of ignorance, not knowing anything about Eminem, you have no idea what this album cover is supposed to
Represent.
represent.
Yeah.
The only thing that I can say is if I didn't know anything about him, and I know this is the Marshall Mathers LP, and there is a scared looking white guy on the street who's looking sad and you know, like he's having the worst day of his life, you automatically think that this is something kind of sad and depressing.
No.
Well, I do.
You care too much. That's the problem.
Huh?
You care too much.
Well, okay, yeah. Different people are going to think about it in different ways. And yes, I am a person who cares a lot about a lot of things. So, you know, when I look at it, I do think this is going to be perhaps a sad album. Now, knowing what I know about Eminem, I know what this album cover is supposed to represent. But if I don't know, I think it's, you know, just, wow, this is going to be something sad. But I will not know. I don't know if this is a rap album, I don't know if it's a rock album or what.
So does it deserve to be in the top 50? At number 48?
I wouldn't say so. No, I would not say so.
So we agree, in other words.
Is it good? You know, it is evocative in some ways. But is it iconic in the way of, wow, this is just one of the best hip-hop album covers ever? I would not say that's the case.
Hell no. All right. Next up is Vince Staples. Hell Can Wait. Who? Who the fuck is Vince Staples? And what is he doing on a list of the most iconic hip hop album covers of all time? Help me out here, bruh. Who the fuck is Vince Staples?
Vince Staples is one of the younger rappers. He's been around for a little while, but he's kind of young.
Is he any good?
And I don't like him, but I don't think he's terrible. You know, he can rap. I don't like his voice, and I don't like stuff he talks about. But he's not bad. I mean, he can rap very well.
You know, for my listeners out there, if they're not looking at the screen or whatever, Hell Can Wait is animated. The cover's animated, and it's dudes in front of a house that's on fire, and you have a helicopter that's flying over, and a little boy that's standing at the gate looking at these dudes, and they're like smoking and shit. And it says Hell Can Wait, and so the imagery is some like I don't know. Go shit. It don't deserve to go on the list, so fuck it. I'm spending too much time on this motherfucker as is. So Vince Staples, if you out there listening, fuck you.
I mean, what I say here is, well, it tells some sort of story that I don't understand. There are people in the house and they're dying. Obviously, they're on fire. They're burning to death. There are guys out here on the porch smoking and having a good time. But the house is totally on fire.
It's engulfed in flame.
Yeah. And then there's a little boy looking at it. He's standing in the gate just kind of staring. And I'm guessing this has something to do with, you know, a young kid being indoctrinated into a life of crime. He's been interested into crime, I guess. But
now, let me ask you this: the house number is 6500. Does that represent anything?
I have no idea.
Okay.
You may have to be a fan of Vince Staples to know. If you're
well, I'm not. So
I mean, reading the description here, it does have something to do with him in particular, but I don't know his history. You know, I've only listened to a bit of his music, and you know, I'm not a fan, so I don't know a whole lot about him. So if I look at this and say, "Oh, this looks cool," I wonder if I want to listen to this. I mean, it looks interesting. but it would not make me want to buy this album. So in the pantheon of great hip hop albums, I would not put it here at all. Is it well done? Yes, it is, but I would not call this an iconic hip hop album cover.
Yeah, there's nothing iconic about it, in my opinion. And like I said, Vince Staples, he's not a big enough name to be on this damn list of nothing else. I mean, you know, earn something first. I mean, so.
I mean, so you haven't heard of him, but I mean, people who listen to modern hip hop these days, they kind of know who he is. I mean, he's not one of the biggest names you'll ever know, but he's also not like a nobody, you know. So, but I wouldn't say he's iconic in any kind of way.
No, there's nothing iconic about this damn album cover, and the fact that we spent the amount of time that we spent talking about him is kind of beneath me. So, Vince Staples, moving along.
All right.
And I'm not even reading these little blurbs or whatever. You know, when it comes.
I'm not reading either. I just did that just because I was interested in the 6500.
Okay. Because once again, I'm looking at this from a perspective of, you know, if I'm an alien that just arrived on the planet Earth from, you know, from name a planet from Saturn. That's the way that I'm approaching this. So that being said, next up is The Pharcyde, Sold My Soul, number 46. It is the remix and rarity collection, so I guess it's like a compilation LP of The Pharcyde, and what they're like tied up. It's in black and white, and no, why? No, I love Pharcyde, but no, why? Go.
Yeah, it looks interesting. It looks cool, and if you like The Pharcyde, yeah, you'll want to buy it. If you don't know anything about The Pharcyde, I don't know what makes this iconic. They are an iconic group. Yes, they are. This album cover is not really iconic. I mean, it looks nice. It doesn't tell me anything about. I mean, it's the remix from Rarity Collection. So, why did they choose this in particular? I don't know. But no, this is not a cover that I would put here as calling it iconic. But it does look good.
It don't even look good. It don't deserve to be there. So if you're out there listening, Pharcyde, why would you be listening? All right. Next up at number 45, we have Lupe Fiasco, Food and Liquor. And this is, we have Lupe on a backdrop, like he's floating in space. You got all kinds of hip hop, I guess, paraphernalia. You got a boombox, you got a phone, you got all kinds of stuff that's kind of surrounding him. No. There's nothing iconic about this album cover. It once again, I'm an alien, fresh, you know, from Neptune, and I see this. There is no way I'm buying this fucking album ever. I'm not even gonna, you know, I'm not gonna look twice at this fucking album. So no, go.
So first, I'll say that this is a good album. I'll just have to say I'm not an alien.
Who cares? Once again,
I know what the point is, but I just want to say this is a good album. I like this album a lot. But here I am. I'm an alien, and when I see this and I'm reading Lupe Fiasco's Food and Liquor, when I look at the album cover and I see this, I would say this is more like a superhero type cover. I just don't know what Food and Liquor. I'm not seeing it. Like, I don't know what the cover has to do with the title. Now, if he called it something else, and again, I'm going into what I know about this album. This cover does kind of encompass what the album is, but Food and Liquor, not really. I don't really know what the title has to do with this right here.
Dude, you just fucking crash landed on Earth from SETI Alpha 5, okay? Okay? Okay, you crash landed, Okay, you survived. You survived the crash. Okay, you got a little something to eat. You probably stopped at Whataburger or something and got combo three. You know what I mean? So you had a little something to eat, and now you're walking around and you're learning this new planet that you're on, and you happen to walk into a sound warehouse. I know record stores are extinct now, but you walk into the last sound warehouse. On the planet Earth. You walk in there, and there's a wall of the 50 greatest hip hop album covers of all time, and you're looking at them, and you see this Lupe Fiasco record, man, and you know what's gonna be the thought in your head? Are you gonna be like, you know what? I want to listen to this. I'm fresh to the. I'm new to the planet Earth. I've got to hear Lupe Fiasco, Food and Liquor, because of this album cover. No, that never happens.
Well,
Ever.
no, no. And here I am. I'm not an alien. And when I saw this album cover back in 2006, I would say, no, I don't really like this album cover.
Okay. You're a Mexican who just crossed over the border from Mexico into the United States. You avoided ICE. You avoided the border patrol.
I went through a tunnel because that's how they get here.
Yeah.
But as a Mexican who just crossed the border, there are some things on this cover that do appeal to me. A cool looking boombox, a cool looking. His shoes are very cool. A Nintendo DS, a Nintendo cartridge, a manga, um, some album covers. I mean, those do appeal to me. So if I'm a Mexican who's into that kind of stuff, I'm like, okay, this guy might be like me. I might have some things in common with him. Maybe I'll want to listen to his album. But I'd have to kind of really focus on everything that's floating on around him. Is it a very good looking album? It's pretty. It's done well.
Is it the 45th most iconic album cover of all time?
I know I'm going too far.
Yes, you are.
And I think it's because I do have a history with this album. No, I'll say that no, it's not the 45th most iconic hip hop album. No.
I agree. It is not. All right. Next up is Smino with, I guess, Black Swan is the name of it.
Yeah.
Who? Who the fuck is Smino? All right. We have Smino. He's getting his hair twisted, and he has a afro comb in his head, and has the letters BLKSWN, which is the album cover, the album title, written on the afro comb. He's getting his head twisted, and that's it. And you see the hands of the person who's twisting his hair, but you don't see the person's face. I think it's either somebody he's messing with or his mom or somebody like that. Either way, it don't really matter. This does not deserve to be on. I mean, hip hop's been around for a minute now. Okay, it's not like hip hop is new. It's been around since well over 40 years. Okay, there have been a ton of hip hop albums, a ton of iconic covers. How you gonna put some cat named Smino, who's never had a hit song, has not done anything, in the history of hip hop, and feature him as an iconic, having an iconic out? There's nothing iconic about this album cover. There's nothing about. I've never heard a song. I never heard of this motherfucker until right now. Okay, so. Obviously, he hasn't done anything that resonates, because if he's done something that resonates, I would at least know the name. Even if I had never heard of, listen to the music, I would at least know that this person exists. And no. So whoever did this list, man, y'all fucking up. Go.
I have heard of Smino. Have I heard his music? I think I've heard maybe one of his tracks. Didn't do it for me. Looking at this album cover, again, like a lot of... If they're going for great photography and artistry, as far as these album covers go, they're picking nice ones. But I would not put this thing at number 44 as one of the most iconic hip hop albums.
Covers, not album. Cover.
Right, covers.
Yeah.
Looking at this thing, this cover does not appeal to me. It doesn't make me want to buy this album. Doesn't make me want to listen to it. His name, Smino, does not make me want to listen to it. Black Swan, I know it's cool to leave vowels out of things these days. That title doesn't really make me want to listen to it. I think they're wrong here. No, this is not iconic.
I agree. All right, so Smino, if you're listening, I hope you have a long and great, illustrious career. Right now, you don't deserve to be on this list. So, Smino, fuck off. All right, next up at number 43 is Camp Lo, Uptown Saturday Night. This album cover is animated. It's a take, artwork. It is a take on the iconic painting from Good Times, the Good Times TV show. Of people dancing like in a juke joint. It has been updated with a hip hop flavor. You got people in hip hop clothing, whatever, and I like where they're going with this. I've never been a Camp Lo aficionado. I'm not a fan of their music, and it kind of rubs me the wrong way because they took an iconic painting and appropriated it for their album cover. I get where they're going with it, but it's just something about it kind of rubs me wrong. So I'm gonna say no, it does not belong. So Camp Lo, fuck off. Go.
But what about you being an alien?
I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. What's your question? Okay, so as an alien, it does belong. But yeah, it would intrigue me enough to want to learn more about it. So based on that, you're right. You checked me on that. Yes, it does deserve to be on the list. I say at near the bottom. So yeah, at 43, I might move it down a couple spots down to maybe like 47, something like that. Maybe even 50. But yeah, I'll say it does belong. Go.
So, first off, from the perspective of not an alien, I hate Good Times. And
whoa!
I hate Good Times.
What?
I said it.
Are you?
I hate Good Times. I hate Good Times. I do not like Good Times. I have never ever liked Good Times.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I hate Good Times.
Oh,
everybody listening to this right now, let it be known. Jake Wade, this man right here speaking, I hate Good Times.
You're a fucking communist, man. You are a communist.
I do not like Good Times in any capacity.
You're a Candace Owens supporter.
Absolutely not.
you motherfucker, man.
Good Times is not my show. I do not like it at all. I don't like the characters. I don't like the comedy. The main thing I do not like about Good Times.
What?
Is that it's so freaking depressing. I know why it is, but I hate the fact that every show is so freaking depressing.
No, it's not, man. No, you don't understand the show. What?
No, I understand the show. I know what it's supposed to be.
What's it supposed to be?
It is supposed to be, showing that even in the time that they lived in, where black people were not even. It was the 70s, but black people were still,
second-class citizens.
Yeah. Bad things would happen, but they were still a family and they were together and they were able to get through life.
Yeah.
That's what Good Times is. I get it.
Yeah.
But it is so freaking depressing because nothing good ever happens to them.
That is a lie. A lot good happened to them.
Listen, good things would happen, and at the end of the show, it always went wrong.
No, it did not. No, it did not.
Maybe there was one show where it didn't go wrong. But every single Good Times episode where I've seen something great would be happening, they were like ready to move on, like some wonderful event was going to happen. And at the end, it all went to crap.
See, you harping on the fact that James died. See, everybody harps on the fact that James died.
Not just that.
What?
That was like the biggest one. But in every show I've ever seen was like that.
It wasn't.
Something good would be happening during the show. Something they would be looking forward to. Or some situation that they were trying to make better. And it looked like it was happening. And at the end of the show, it just was dashed. And they just have to be happy with the fact that they were family and they were together.
Okay. What about the time? What about the time that they were going to get evicted because they couldn't pay the rent, and James took their last money and went and shot pool to make rent. Florida didn't want him to do it because she didn't want him gambling with their money. She didn't believe in gambling, and James was a great pool player, but he gave up pool hustling for Florida. But it was dire straits. They needed the money to make rent, so James grabbed his pool cue, went down to the pool hall, and won the money to keep his family off the street. Okay? There are a lot of episodes like that, man, where at 0 hour, whatever problem needed to get solved, got solved. You know what I mean? So no, it was more triumph than tragedy in good time. But folks, I always want to harp on the tragedy.
Because I've seen more tragedy in that show than I've seen triumph, I'll tell you that.
No.
But here, again, I don't like the show.
Michael went to college. Thelma went to college. JJ became an advertising executive. Thelma married a pro football player. I mean, the family got out. Michael went on to be a Supreme Court justice. I mean,
the family got out, and didn't they have to go back?
No, they got out. In the final episode, they got out and they actually moved to the good side of Chicago. Got a penthouse, not a penthouse or whatever, but got a nice apartment. Everybody got out.
Guess what? I didn't watch the last episode.
Well, I did.
Because I don't like the show. I didn't get it. All the really good times that may have happened, I probably didn't get to it because the first 15 shows were bad times. So, that may have been just it for me.
Yeah, and it's official. You are a charter member of the Candace Owens fan club because motherfucker, you sold out on that one, man. You definitely sold us out on that one.
I mean, we don't all have to have the same opinions. You know that, right?
Yes, we do. Damn it, we are a monolithic race. We all have to agree. Shit.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well, me and Candace say "Good Time Sucks," and having this album cover ape it in some sort of way doesn't appeal to me at all. I don't want to listen to the album because of that. But again, knowing who these guys are, haven't heard some of the music on this album, I wouldn't want to buy the album because, I really like Camp Lo. I didn't hate them, but also at the same time, I didn't really like them. So, in that regard, no, it doesn't do it for me. As an alien, when I see this, I'm like, this is weird. Maybe I'll be interested in it because I don't know anything about this. Uptown Saturday Night. At least it looks like a lot of people are having a good time. Maybe I want to listen to it. So in that regard, yeah, it is kind of iconic. Number 43, probably not. But, on a list of 50, I wouldn't say it should be on here. But it is iconic in a way of it is a hip-hop album that you would look at and be interested in. Yes.
Sell out. Okay.
All right. I mean, I get disgusted when I hear people say things like, I don't like Sanford and Son. That makes me angry.
So Sanford and Son, you could say that was depressing too, because, Fred... What?
It wasn't, though.
Okay, Fred and Lamont living in a damn junkyard, broke as hell all the time. I mean, and their little, and their schemes, rarely turned out well.
Well, that was the thing. They were scheming, though. They weren't necessarily trying to.
I mean, like the time, the episode where Lamont had the porcelain, and Fred broke it. So he wasn't scheming.
That was a scheme.
No, it wasn't.
Well, I guess it wasn't so much a scheme, but the thing that worked against them in that episode is that they're both dumb as crap, and they didn't do the right thing. They didn't go about that process of selling that thing the way way you should have. Nobody says, "Oh, we're gonna let's see if we can get what was it, like $2,000 they were trying to get for it."
Something like that.
It,
No, no, it would it was like $800. It wasn't.
it was they were trying to get the highest price they could for it.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy offered them a certain amount, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's not what a white person would do. Let's he's trying to cheat us out of this. Let's try to haggle, make it go higher." And then they do the whole auction thing, and
No. You think that's a different episode. The porcelain one, I'm talking about. He had the porcelain collection, and Fred breaks it, and then he says that they were robbed. He got hit over the head, and somebody took the porcelain, but actually he put it in a dustpan and hid it in the.
Oh
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
You talking about when he had the porcelain the statue that he tried to auction off. And Fred wound up breaking it. Yeah. Those are two similar episodes. But yeah, but the point is, man, is that, black 70s black exploitation, sitcoms, I mean, that is how, in a way, black life was, for a large section of our community. So so it resonated, and it opened up a white audience to, damn, black folks living like this. So it had a purpose for its time. It's not as relevant now, but for its time it did, man. And for you to shit on Good Times, man, is just
What I'm saying is this: there was Sanford and Son has a vibe of less of an emotional resonance, but more of this is his comedy right here. Good Times is buffoonery mixed up with complete depression. And I can't deal with that. Sorry.
All right, nigga.
Yeah.
Next up, damn. You crazy ass. Okay, number 42, Sean Price, Mike Tyson. It is I'm not real familiar with Sean Price. The album cover is very inviting. I'll say that much. I guess it's of him holding a microphone. You got a bunch of dead gorillas. What this has to do with Mike Tyson is I mean, it has nothing to do with Mike Tyson because it's MIC Tyson, so it's a play on words. But I kind of get it. But the album does look inviting. And if I'm an alien fresh off, the planet Venus, crash landing here on Earth, then yeah, I would want to find out more about Sean Price, Mike Tyson. So yeah, it deserves to be on the list. Go.
I love this freaking album. This is a great album.
Is it?
Yeah. And Sean Price is wow. I hate the fact that he was gone because
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he died in like 2015.
What happened?
Like a heart attack or whatever.
See, eating all that pork.
Actually, I don't think he ate pork. I think he was a Muslim, but whatever.
Damn, that's fucked up. Man.
But anyway,
he had one bean pie too many.
but as it goes, I love this album, and I understand the imagery of it. You kind of have to know Sean Price to know why all of the gorillas and all this, because he's the barbarian, and he has the microphone, spits bars. Mike Tyson, he beats the gorillas. He is the barbarian. You get it?
I get it, man. I get it.
That is cool. Goes to battle with gorillas. So, yeah, this is a super amazing cover. Very iconic, in my opinion. If I were an alien, didn't know who Sean Price was, or even not an alien, if I was just somebody who didn't listen to hip-hop, or I didn't listen to a whole lot of hip-hop or whatever, and I'd never heard of Sean Price, and I saw his cover, I would be very intrigued. And I think actually people were intrigued by it. This is his most popular album, and I think the cover had a lot to do with it. Other than the fact that the album has some wonderful tracks on it, just amazing wordplay, and he's funny as crap. So, yeah, fantastic. Definitely deserves to be on this list.
Well, based on that, I'm going to give it a listen.
Yeah, I think you will love it, really.
So I'm definitely going to give it a listen. I might give it a listen this evening. All right.
Okay.
All right. Rest in peace, Sean Price. All right. Next up at number 41. Oh my God! Oh no! Oh sweet Jesus!
Mm.
Whoa! What the fuck? Okay. At number 41, I don't believe what I'm looking at here. At number 41 on this list by viralallhiphop.com, they're saying that the 41st most iconic album cover of all time is Public Enemy. It takes a nation of millions to hold us back. I'm gonna tell you right now, I was expecting this one to be number one. I am shocked. I am beyond shocked. And all credibility of this list has just gone out the motherfucking window. How in the hell can the album cover to one of the greatest hip hop albums ever made in the history of mankind not be this album cover, man? It's Chuck D and Flavor Flav behind bars with the Public Enemy logo. Are you fucking kidding me? Go. Just go.
Well, okay. Um, it deserves to be on this list for sure. This low, absolutely not. I don't know why it is this low. Again, I wonder what the criteria is for this list here.
There ain't no criteria, man. I think they just got a bunch of album covers, man, threw them up in the air, and this is where they landed. I mean, they put it on shuffle or something, and this is where it landed.
That might be the case.
That is the case. These motherfuckers tripping.
I mean, as it goes, I think you might be thinking about this from a standpoint of what the album actually is, rather than not knowing anything about it.
I'll tell you right now, if I'm an alien and I see this, I definitely want to find out more. I'm absolutely, just the look on Chuck D's face is enough to make me want to see what the hell is going on here. Oh hell no! And the title,
Yeah.
It takes a nation of millions to hold us back. That's a very inviting title, man. Then you see the Public Enemy logo of the B-boy in the crosshairs. Dude, there is nothing in this album cover, man, that is not saying "Please buy me." There's nothing there, man.
The fact that they call it Public Enemy as well.
Exactly. I mean, everything about this album cover, man. Everything, man. I tell you what, man. If you took away the title and the logo, and you just had Flavor Flav and Chuck D, and that's all, I would still be like, damn, I gotta buy this. That's how good it is, man. These motherfuckers tripping.
I agree. It doesn't need to be 41. I tell you that.
Hell no.
But if you didn't have this at number one,
at worst, at worst, it's top three. At worst, top three. It doesn't fall below 3. At worst. Yeah. So these motherfuckers tripping.
I don't know, but 41 is way too low.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're wrong here. Is it iconic? Absolutely. Does it deserve to be in the top 10? Yes. Yeah, they're wrong here. That's all I have to say about this.
I agree. So allhiphop.com, you motherfuckers, y'all can suck one for real. Jesus Christ.
Okay, and especially seeing what comes next. Yeah.
Oh Lord, what's next? Let's see what's next here. I can't, man. I don't think I can make it through this list, man. I can't. What the fuck? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Number 40 on this list, above Public Enemy, is DJ Khaled, Grateful, which is a shot of a baby. I'm assuming this is maybe his child or whatever, sitting in a pool, in a hot tub or whatever. And that's it. And that's better than Public Enemy's album cover. Go.
Yeah, I don't see anything iconic about this crap.
Nothing. You know what, man?
Babies.
If you see this photo, if you see this album cover, man, you take off DJ Khaled, and you just leave Grateful there, you think it's like for a calendar or something.
Yeah. This is a Annie Leibovitz.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't really understand what makes this iconic or even a good album cover. It's a baby in tow.
It represents nothing. It
I'll
tells me
tell you
nothing. It's not inviting, man.
what it really does represent is DJ Khaled's idea of trying to make his baby a star, um, and because he's been known for doing this, he's been trying to make his baby since the moment his baby was born. He was trying to make his baby into a star. So that's what this represents. But like, why? I don't really understand the point of this and why anybody thinks it's iconic. Especially when, again, if I'm not an alien and I know what music sounds like, you know the music within is complete garbage. But if you are an alien, why would you buy this album looking at, oh, there's a little child. I want to eat it.
QAnon.
I'm done with this. No, it doesn't deserve to be on this list.
No, it does not. And we've given
Smino
it.
deserves to be higher than this.
We've given it way too much credit just by talking about it. Okay. All right. Next up. Oh, okay. Next up, we have Schoolie D. His self-titled LP, which is one of the most iconic. It's definitely one of those most iconic album covers from the early stages of hip hop. It's yellow with basically hand scribbled graffiti type of a feel to it. I mean, everything about this man screams hip hop. I mean, this is what I call an inviting. I think this might be what Lupe Fiasco was going for. This type of vibe. He didn't achieve it. But this is what, if Lupe Fiasco wanted to have this. This is how his album cover should have looked. Somewhere along this line. In other words, man, this is a great hip hop album cover, and it definitely deserves to be on the list. I would put it up in top 20, but it does deserve to be on the list, but not ahead of Public Enemy. Go.
Yeah. So the thing about this album cover is that it screams personality. Like, if you had never heard of Schoolie D, you kind of get the vibe of kind of what he is. I mean, you can tell that like, this is a guy who has a good sense of humor. He likes to have fun. He's cool. He can draw. You know.
Yeah.
Some people would be like, "Oh man, this is a very amateurish looking album cover," but I wouldn't say that's amateurish at all. I think this is his album cover. Like, he sat down and he drew his album cover. Like, this is what my album represents. Like, this is the music within. You can tell. You know, he has references to the songs on the album, like the lyrics.
Yep.
It's like I said, this has a lot of personality, and I don't know if this was intentional or not, but the name Schoolie at the bottom, drawn in the big blocks like this reminds me of
Schoolhouse Rock. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's what he was going for, but that's what it looks like.
I'm sure he was probably influenced by it. Absolutely.
Yeah, and you know that's big right there. Just the fact that, you know, this is a creative guy. You know this. Just from looking at it. Is it iconic? Absolutely. Deserves to be at number one? No, I don't know about one, but deserves to be much higher than 39, and certainly, you know, a little bit lower than Public Enemy, much higher than DJ Khaled, much higher than Smino. You know,
yeah.
I don't really know why they put it so low, but yes, this is a great album cover.
Agreed. All right, next up we have Travis Scott, Astroworld. Of course, Travis Scott, he's very popular nowadays. He's one, you know, the new age of hip hop rappers. This album cover is very vibrant, colorful, and everything, and I guess you got people walking inside of it. It's his image of his face with the mouth open and people walking inside. Like, it has a theme park type of a feel to it, for hence the title Astroworld. But this is not very inviting to me. It you know, I would give it a double take, but you know, based on just seeing this album cover, I would not be like, yeah, this is something I gotta listen to, because once again, it doesn't tell me anything about, you know, what to expect as far as the content or anything, you know, anything like that. I guess it's supposed to represent entering his mind or something. But I'm on the fence with it, so I'm gonna say no. Go.
I will say no, in that no, it doesn't really tell me a whole lot about the music. I mean, the title goes with it certainly, but the music itself doesn't tell me anything about it. I don't know what this is other than this being a black guy with dreads. Obviously, you know you just kind of assume, oh, this is perhaps he's a rapper, maybe he's a singer, maybe he's a reggae artist. I don't know. Um, uh, Here's my problem with it. Very well done. It is a beautiful album cover in that everything in it is nice and crisp and vibrant. Photography is great. Um, the head in the middle there looks disgusting to me. Uh, it just does. I can't really explain it. I hate that, and it doesn't. It makes me not want to listen to it because of the way the head looks. I just don't like that. Everything else around it looks interesting, but it wouldn't make me want to listen to the album. So no, I don't think it deserves to be on this list.
I agree. All right. Next up is okay. All right. Here we go. Here we go. The Roots. Things fall apart. Now there's a story behind the Roots the album. All things all fall apart or things fall apart. It was released with like 4 or 5 different album covers, different photos, all kind of representing different eras in America, and not just America, well, I guess in the world, and and each of the photos are depressing in some way. It shows it shows us at our worst. Um, obviously I bought this album. I bought this particular album strictly based on the album cover. That is the I was already a fan of the Roots. I was gonna get it anyway, but when I saw this, I was like, I gotta get this. And the one that I bought was a screaming Chinese baby. I think it was Chinese baby sitting in a wreckage, rubble, or whatever. It was a wartime. That photo just
It's not a
impacted
Chinese
me.
baby. It's a Japanese.
Or a Japanese baby. Okay, well, an Asian baby.
After Hiroshima.
After Hiroshima.
Yes.
Okay.
Hiroshima.
So we have a Chinese baby in the wreckage of Hiroshima.
No, it's not Chinese baby.
Well, I'm sorry, Japanese baby in the wreckage of Hiroshima. Let me see. No, it's not. It's a child stranded in the rubble at Shanghai's South Railway Station in 1937 after the Japanese attacked the Chinese during a wartime conflict. So yeah, it is a Chinese baby.
But it's a Chinese baby, and the Japanese has something to do with it. But
yeah.
It wasn't. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So let's say Asian.
You learn something new every day.
Stop Asian hate.
Stop Asian hate, please.
That's right. But that's the one that I bought. But it had a cover. The one that we're looking at here is of the black girl. I think this is in where is it? This is in Bed-Stuy during the race riots. Her and another boy being chased by police. I know there was one of like a Somalian child, and gang. One was of like a mobster being shot. So these album covers represent obviously different eras in America, and not just in America but in the world, should I say? And like I said, I bought this from Media Play in Macon, Georgia. I was just walking through the store. I saw.
I was there with you that day. I remember.
You was with me?
Yep.
Okay, and that is the reason why I bought it. That I had not heard a song from. I didn't even know the album was out until I saw this, and I bought it. And yeah, that is an iconic album cover because it made me do exactly what it intended for me to do, which is stop, look, and buy that shit. So yeah, and the fact that it is at number what 39, 37 on the list is way too low. This goes into the top 5 for me. Go.
I remember that I was with you that day because.
What'd I say? What'd I say?
Oh, I don't remember what you said. I don't remember what you said. But what I remember about listening to when we put the CD in the car, when we got in the car, the first song, Table of Contents, I was blown away. I remember being in the parking lot of Media Play, listening to Table of Contents Part 1, and just like, God, wow. That was one of the best album intros I've ever heard on a hip-hop album. I love that. I just remember, sometimes when you hear something, you remember where you were when you heard it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was in the parking lot of Media Play with you because we had just gotten that album. So, yeah. Iconic in that way because it starts off fantastically. This is the cover, the one that we're seeing here with the woman running, is the cover that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted this one because this is so powerful. If I didn't know anything about the music, I would want to buy it too, certainly. Unfortunately, or I don't know if it's unfortunate or not, but I knew the music within before I bought the album. And I had already heard the Next Movement when the album came out, and that made me want the album. But if I had never heard anything from it, if I had seen this cover right here, I would have bought it. It certainly does the job, and for one thing, I like the graphic design of it. Even without the photo, I think the design of it is great.
Yes.
So
and that title, man, excellent
and
title.
the title,
Yes.
based on the Chinua Achebe book, and which really does tie into the album itself and to the imagery. So, awesome, really great cover here, and yeah, it deserves to be on this list. 37 is pretty low, but at least it's here. That's all I'll say.
Agree. It definitely deserved to be on the list, but just much higher. And once again, just like one of the greatest album covers ever. And whoever came up with this concept, kudos to them. And I think this is what kind of pushed the Roots into the stratosphere.
Yep.
And I think they got a lot of new fans just based on the album cover, in my opinion. Because, I mean...
yeah, from the album cover,
yeah,
and then listen to the album.
Yeah.
Because by far their best album.
Yeah, that too. All right. Next up, Kwame, the Boy Genius. I remember Kwame. He had a brief 15-minute moment where he was, trending, so to speak, in popular music. One hit wonder. After that, he kind of fell off. He never be heard from or seen again. I had no idea whatever happened to him again. This is a decent album cover, and it definitely does represent, what his brand was at that time. And the title Boy Genius definitely fits the album cover itself. So yeah, I would say it does deserve to be in the top 50, based on I think the album cover does achieve what it intended to do, which is to paint him, in line with the album's title. So in that case, it works. So I'm okay with it. Go.
Yeah, from the standpoint of being literal, this is a very literal album cover. Title goes in hand with the imagery on it. It looks pretty cool. You have to wonder what it's about. Is this some sort of nerdy rap, or is this party rap? What is it? You don't know that.
Well, this was back in the early '90s, so I'm expecting lyricism.
Mm-hmm. What I would expect from it, mm-hmm. I'm expecting sort of conscious type rap. Just looking at it, kind of a conscious thing.
Well, but there is one thing that gives me cause to pause in this photo. Is that chicken with ketchup?
Where do you see chicken with ketchup?
The plate. By his left arm. You see the plate? It looks like chicken. Is that a piece of chicken with some ketchup? I see with a balled up napkin.
Yeah, there's a napkin in it. I didn't think that was chicken. I thought it was a piece of bread.
Is it bread?
I don't know what it is.
It could be bread or it could be a piece of chicken. Okay.
And that could be ketchup. I never really thought about it. I can't tell from this photo.
I can't either. That's what I'm
But
asking.
what you're saying is, you wouldn't buy it if he has a piece of chicken with some ketchup. You eat chicken and ketchup.
Yeah, it's fucking gross, man.
Yeah, it is gross. As much as I love ketchup, I would not do that. So hopefully that's not what it was. But it looks more like to me he was eating a sandwich.
Could be. Could be. Well, the fact that we're talking about what he's eating in this photo man, is an indictment in itself. So,
That's very important, though.
yeah.
Here's a weird thing. There's a lot of stuff on this table. He's got the plate. He has an apple.
Apple, yeah.
He has a condom.
Condom, yeah.
Some money.
Yeah.
Which looks like a, I guess it's a 10. I don't know what that is.
Is it?
A keyboard, like
Mixer?
a musical keyboard, a mixer, headphones, pencil sharpener. I mean, there's a lot going on.
Yeah. Is that a skateboard behind him? Is that a skateboard?
Yeah, a skateboard, yeah. He's a kid. This is a kid's bedroom. But there's a lot on this desk here. And I don't know. I guess it's showing that he has a lot going on in his mind. His mind that moves, a million miles per hour. So it's it illustrates his title. Certainly it does. Does it make me want to listen to it? Maybe. Not the biggest fan of Kwame, I tell you that. But other than, if I don't know who he is, I would be somewhat interested in it. I would, in the top 50, maybe. Maybe not 36. Not higher than the ones we saw. That shouldn't be down there. But, top 50. We'll go with that.
All right, whatever. Next up, now this is the Far Side record that deserves to be on this list. Is Bizarre Ride to the Far Side by the Far Side. This is my favorite Far Side LP. It's of them like they're on a roller coaster and they're beginning this ride to the Far Side, and it definitely represents the feel of the album. It represents the group. It represents a lot, and it's very inviting because it's going to take you on a journey because it really, the whole carnival type, amusement feel of the cover of the LP, it directly represents their vibe as far as artists. So I like it a lot, and I always kind of wonder, whether or not that was a vagina they were rolling into. But other than that, go.
That's probably what it is.
I think that's what it is. So
yeah. One thing that I have to say about the album cover is that it has a lot of energy and personality.
Mm-hmm.
The artwork is very good, and the fact that it kind of portrays them as cartoon characters. They certainly have a Bizarre is right. They have a bizarre style, bizarre. They were not like the rappers of that time. They were certainly something a little different. And that's what this album cover says. And I like that. And would I have been interested in this album by looking at this? Yes, I would. I think this gets the job done. Very intriguing album cover. So it is very iconic. I think most people know this album. They know the music, but I think they know the cover. If you took the name, the Far Side off, and you showed this to somebody, they'd know what it was. I think this is just that iconic. So yes, certainly deserves to be on this list.
I agree. All right. Next up, Ye. We got Ye, 808s and Heartbreaks. It's I'm not a fan of Yeezy, whatever you want to call him. I'm not a fan. This album cover is not very inviting to me. Be honest with you, the first time I saw this album cover, I thought it was a Taylor Swift record. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw it was Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift out back then?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the first thing I thought was Taylor Swift. I think it was. I think Taylor was out back then. Anyways, when I see this, even to this day, when I see it, I think Taylor Swift for whatever reason. So no, it's not. It's not inviting as a hip hop LP cover to me, because nothing about this screams hip hop. So if I'm an alien, I'm thinking, and I'm looking through here and through, through these LP covers, and I see this. I'm thinking, hey, this thing should have been the adult contemporary, Paul Simon or something, or like I said, this shouldn't be in the batch. So there is nothing about this LP cover that represents hip hop. Nothing. Go.
Um, First off, I know we're doing the alien thing, um, but me, not an alien, I like this album. Um,
The cover, not what's in it. The cover.
well, okay. One thing I'll also say before I get to my actual critique of the album cover is no one gets the album title right. The album is called 808s and Heartbreak. They always put the S at the end of it, kind of like someone saying Kroger's.
I did put an S at the end of it. I said 808 Heartbreak.
I'm looking at the thing and it says Heartbreaks. That's what I'm saying. Like they wrote it incorrectly up here.
Oh, okay.
No one ever gets the title right.
Yeah.
It's just dumb. Anyway, I like this cover. I like the album, but I like the cover. And even as an alien, I like the cover. I like the minimalistic look of it. I like the deflated balloon because it certainly goes with the title. This is the love is gone, and I think it's from a graphic design standpoint. As a graphic designer myself, I think it's great. The color is great. I like the color on the side, the little spectrum on the side there, muted colors, and the minimalistic, small, thin, condensed text. I think it works a lot. I think it's really great. So yes, I do think this is an iconic album cover. They messed it up though. This is not the actual album cover. But let me make sure before I say the wrong thing. I think I have it up here on my desk actually. I don't. I took it. I put it away. But I don't think this is the actual album cover. The actual album cover it ruined it. It has some like Mickey Mouse gloves or whatever pulling the balloon apart, and it looks dumb. So no. But this was I think the pre-album cover. Like this was what first came out, I believe, and it looks a lot better than what the final album cover was. So anyway, I think it's iconic. I like it.
Disagree. All right. Moving on. Next up is Missy Elliott, Super Duper Fly. Now this is a hip hop album cover. Everything about it obviously screams hip hop. I like female rappers, so that helps. I mean, yeah, this would definitely fall within the top 50 for me. And once again, as an alien, I see this. I'm definitely wanting to find out more about it. I just like the way I like the layout of the LP. I like the way she's positioned with her foot up and everything. Just everything about it kind of screams hip hop. Yeah, I want to learn more about this. I want to hear it. Go.
I agree with everything you said. I think the main thing that this cover says to me is this girl is cool.
Yeah.
You need to listen to her.
Yeah.
And that does it for me. And that font just kind of goes really well with the imagery. I like the curtains in the back. It looks really good. This is a very, very good album cover. So there's not a whole lot to say about it. This is just a cool album cover, and it's definitely iconic.
Agree. All right, next up, Redman, There Is a Dark Side. It's a photo of him buried up to his neck, and he's screaming, and you have power lines behind him. Once again, everything about this record screams hip hop. Yeah, I see this. I'm definitely want to find out more about it. I like the title. Everything about this particular photo, this layout is very inviting. I like the color scheme, everything. Yeah, I'm with it. Go.
I agree with that. The only thing that I would change about it's not that big of a deal at all. The only thing that I would change about this album cover is the title and the headline. The headline. The title. His name and the title.
Mm-hmm.
I would have made the text smaller and put it, maybe centered it, um, or or maybe moved them to the side a little bit. Um, there's a lot of red space in the middle there, and I just think it needs to be filled up a little bit. Uh, but other than that, this is fantastic. Yeah, it makes you want to listen to it. Look at the location, like where he is. Why is he buried up to his neck there? Why is he screaming? Also, this is a callback to Funkadelic's Maggot Brain album, and that's cool. So, definitely iconic. Definitely makes me want to listen to it. Yes, it deserves to be on this list.
Agree. All right, next up we have Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City. It's a photo, it's a Polaroid of a minivan. I'm assuming it's probably his mom's minivan or something. Um, it's a hip hop record. No, it is. It, once again, I'm an alien. Nothing about this screams hip hop. It would not make me want to learn more about it just from. It would intrigue me, but I would think this. If I see this, I'm thinking this is like a grunge album or something. I'm not thinking hip hop when I see this. Okay, so there's nothing about this that tells me, hey, this is a hip hop record that you need to listen to. If anything, I'm thinking this is some a grunge rock um, band or something. So that's my take. Go.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. It does. It does not necessarily work as far as a hip hop album goes, but I think it does. I like the fact that it subverts what you might think it is, um, and that in itself is intriguing. If you don't know what the album is, if you're not looking for a hip hop album, and you see this, you don't know what it is just by looking at it, and that's the cool thing about it. I think a lot of times when an album cover succeeds, it's because it does not necessarily say a rock album or a rap album or anything. You know, like a lot of times you know something's a country album because you see like, you know, a man with a cowboy hat on. You know it's a country album. Or, you know, a rock album, you might see, um, you know, guitars, or you might see like some girls or something on it. You might know it's a rock album. Rap album, you got people on the cover. You know, um, maybe they have guns, maybe they have drugs, maybe something's going on. You know, stereotypical imagery. But like I said, I think a lot of the best covers subvert that, and this does that. So I'm not looking at it from whether or not this tells me it's a hip hop album. It actually tells me that this is something interesting, and from that standpoint, I think it's great. Um, it's not the best album cover I've ever seen. I think it's a good idea, certainly, um, but it works. And would I call it iconic? Yeah, I think I would. I don't think it should be up here at this number 31. No, but as far as great artistry, like an actual artistically pleasing album cover that makes you want to listen to it, it does that for me.
Disagree.
Okay.
All right, next up. Oh Lord, I already know what you're gonna say
So
here.
before you talk about it,
What?
this is what I'm talking about.
What?
You know what this is. From looking at this album cover,
Mm-hmm.
you know what kind of music this is. You
Mm-hmm.
just know. And and like I said, I like it when album covers don't just fall into that little template of you have to know what kind of music this is.
No, I
You
get
know,
that, man. I get that. I agree to an extent that yeah, if it subverts, your expectation. I get that. I get that. But I'm telling you right now, man, when the first time I see this particular record, man, I'm not thinking hip hop. I'm just not. Therefore, I'm not. I'd be less inclined to buy it. That's the point that I'm making. Okay.
well, well, I'll say this about Kendrick Lamar. This was that was the first Kendrick Lamar album that I listened to, and I think perhaps it is his actual debut album. I know he had other like mixtapes and stuff before it, but I think this is his debut album. Um, and I listened to this record partly because people were saying it was good, but I listened to it partly because of the album cover. Because I was like, well, what kind of rap does he do? I figured he was a rapper because people have been talking about him being a rapper. But like, what kind of rap does he do? You can't tell that from the album cover. And I didn't know if he was going to be like an R&B rapper, like he's going to sing half the time and rap some of the time, or if it was going to be like hardcore hip hop, it's going to be lyrical. You don't get that from the cover, and I like that. So it works for me in that regard.
I disagree.
Okay.
So next, next up is your favorite rapper, Jay-Z, with the Blueprint. Obviously, is Jizza. So, Jigga, should I say? Yeah. I mean, it's Jay-Z. You see his name there in the title. It represents him. I would say it's iconic. It's iconic. I get it. Go.
I'm going to try not to let my hatred for Jay-Z cloud my judgment here. I just hate Jay-Z. I hate, like, his whole air, his whole, like, what he looks like.
Joe Camel.
I don't mean, like, his face, like, what his face actually looks like. I just mean, like... So when I see this album cover, he's going for some kind of mafioso vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that. I've never liked that about him or any other rapper. Like, you're a black guy. You're not in the mafia. Okay? And I love Wu-Tang, but they go with the whole Gambino thing too. And the mafia and black people, they don't mix. Why would you do that?
Yeah, but in a way, black folks in the mafia mix perfectly, man, because we kind of idolize the whole mafia motif.
That's what I'm saying. They do, yes, but they hate us.
Yeah, they do, and we hate them back.
But we love them because we keep trying to model our groups around.
I don't think so much that we love them. I think is what they represent. The power that they represent. And the mafia kind of represents, I think, to the black community of, damn it, this is our thing, and we're gonna ride this thing till the wheels fall off. And it's because it represents us. It's our way of making money. It's our industry, that type of thing.
Yeah. I get that,
mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I just think like you're following the wrong crowd here. You have you come up with your own image. You don't have to do this. So, do I think this is an iconic album cover? I mean, no, not really. But is it well done? Yeah, it's nice and stark, and I like the feet of the people right there. It's hard for me to get over just not liking Jay-Z. I just judging it by just being a rap album cover. The thing that turns me off is the mafioso vibe, not so much Jay-Z himself.
Don't take it personal. Take the bitter with the sweet.
Exactly. I understand why it's here, and I can get why people call it iconic. To me, it's not. That's all.
All right, man. Next up, Nicki Minaj, Pink Friday. Okay, this cover is a photo of her with exaggerated features. Her legs are abnormally long, like she's Mr. Fantastic or something, on a pink backdrop, and she's looking all confused. She has like this I can't even describe the look on her face. But no, this is not iconic. Get real. Fuck out of here. Go.
Yeah, this is not iconic. Get real. I know what she's doing because this was when she came out. She was trying to be the whole black Barbie thing, so she's trying to look like a Barbie doll. I get it.
No way you can be a Barbie with an ass that big.
She's the black Barbie.
Okay.
graphic design wise, is great. That's the positive thing. Otherwise, there's no way I'm buying this album based on this cover.
No. No.
No, if I didn't know who Nicki Minaj was, and I'll tell you this, well, I was interested in Nicki Minaj when she first came out because I heard that she was good and she was bringing lyricism back to hip hop, and she was as this one DJ said, putting it down for the women, and this was in what 2008, something like that. I didn't know who she was. So I was interested in her at first, and I started listening to her, trying to find out who she was, and I was not impressed. So this album, I believe, was her debut album, and if I had come into knowing who she was by seeing this album cover, I'd be like, well, I don't want to listen to Nicki Minaj, and yeah, it doesn't work. It does not. She looks dumb, like.
Yeah, that's the look. Yeah, that's
the look on her.
Yeah, dumb. Yeah.
Yeah, the look on her face looks dumb.
Yeah.
She's trying to look like a vapid Barbie doll. I get that, but she looks dumb. So, no, doesn't deserve it. That's not iconic about it.
Agree. Next up, Your Friend and Mine, Tupac, All Eyes on Me. Obviously, it's one of his most popular records. It's just a photo of him throwing up dubs on a chair with sitting backwards on a chair. With a chair turned around and he's holding up his death row medallion. There is nothing about this album cover that's iconic. It's just a photo of him throwing up dubs. I mean, it probably took him 2 minutes to make this damn LP cover. Okay, take a few shots, pose. Okay, see you later. Go smoke some weed and get shot. No, it does not deserve to be on this list. No, fuck off. Go.
Yeah.
This is bland, man. Yeah.
It is bland. Yes, there's nothing iconic or special about this album cover, and you know what's worse than the fact that it looks kind of lazy. That font is ugly.
Yeah.
The title.
Yeah, it's very lazy. It's very lazy. This is a record cover. Intent on people buying it. It's very lazy. There's like no effort put into this damn thing. It's like, man, fuck you. Take this damn photo. I got places to be.
So it's saying something.
What?
You know what
What's it saying?
What it's saying is this. The big image here is, I'm on death row now and I'm representing the West Side. This was his debut on death row.
Who cares? Who cares?
That's what it's saying. And back then, I guess that was a big deal. But who cares? You're right. Who cares? That wasn't a thing that made me want to listen to this album. It really wasn't.
I've never heard this album, so I don't even know what's on it.
I've heard it, and it's really not bad. Okay. But I used to have it. I don't have it anymore. But yeah, I don't know what's iconic about it. I don't know why they put it here. You know something? It certainly does focus on something. It does make something stand out.
What's that?
The fact that his tattoos are really ugly. He's got some horrible tattoos. Look at that face. I think it's supposed to be Jesus. Look at that.
I ain't studying this guy, man. Move on, shit. I'm not studying this at all.
This is garbage.
Yeah.
I don't know why they even thought about this. Yeah. Okay, move on.
Okay. Next up is Tyler, the Creator, Igor. I don't know if this is a photo of Tyler. I'm assuming that it is. On a pink background, a black and white photo of Tyler or some black person. Is that Tyler?
It's Tyler, yeah.
Okay, so his photo on a pink backdrop, like it's cut out. This would not make me want to listen to the record. So to me, it doesn't feel iconic. I've never heard the record before, so I have nothing to really equate it to. So I'm going to say no.
non-alien me, I don't like Tyler Creator. I don't like him as a person. I don't like his.
He's not very good looking either.
Oh, he's ugly. I hate saying that, but he's ugly. Um, um, I mean, I'm not the best looking man either. I can't really say that, but I don't like the way he looks. Um, I just don't like him. Like, not just him as a rapper. Like, I think he's actually a decent rapper. He raps pretty well, but I don't like him. Like, he's not a likable person. So that's one thing. That's me just not liking him. I've heard some stuff from this album, and really, it ain't that bad. But me as an alien, no, I don't want to buy this album because he looks terrible. And I mean, I like the cutout, the black and white cutout on the pink background. I like that. I'm a fan of minimalistic things, so that works for me. And the title Igor, if I'm looking at the title, I know what the title is, and then I see his face, and I can kind of see the Igor. I see where that comes from, I guess. But he just looks bad. Like, he looks like a monster. And no, I don't think this is iconic. I don't.
A monster without the mad scientist and Igor. Okay.
Yes, but he wasn't going for that.
All right, enough of that nigga. All right, next up at number 26, Tribe Called Quest, Low End Theory. Now this is an album cover. This is what an album cover should look like. Okay, you got it. It represents the title. It represents hip hop. It represents the group. So even if you don't know Tribe Called Quest, you can get a feel for what they're about just from looking at this. There is nothing about this design of this LP cover that misses a beat. It is definitely one of the greatest hip hop LP covers of all time. It definitely deserves to be on the list, and it's too low on the list. It should be top 10. Go.
I agree. And I don't really have a whole lot to add to it. I'll just say, oh crap.
No, shit, man.
Just a moment.
You took your breath away.
Yeah, it takes my breath away. That's what it is. It's like, I guess it's a good thing that I coughed and you just said that, because what I was going to say is, this is art. If nothing else, this is art.
Yes.
You'd want to have this on your wall.
Yes.
This is highly iconic. And in fact, it became kind of the look of the group. So definitely is iconic, and yes, way, way, way too low.
And probably their best record too. So that helps.
It's one of them.
Yeah.
It's one of them.
Yeah. Absolutely. Definitely not a bad record.
No, there's not. They don't have a bad record. They do not have a bad record.
No, they don't.
I know people crap on the Love Movement, but that was a good album.
I like the Love Movement, so So fuck them folks.
Yep.
All right. Next up. Oh damn. Earl Simmons. First of all, first and foremost, rest in peace, DMX.
He didn't die, did he?
They say he's like in a vegetative state. So if you believe the reports, he's not going to come back. So
I'm not gonna jinx it.
I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. The tragic news broke yesterday that DMX OD'd, and he is currently in intensive care in a vegetative state. He said he has no brain activity, and that is only just a matter of time. At least the report that I read said it's merely a formality. That he is no longer of the living, even though he is not clinically dead yet. He is no longer of the living. One of the greatest hip hop artists of all time. He is definitely in the pantheon of greatest hip hop acts of all time. Just from a brand standpoint, of nothing else, DMX is definitely an icon of the highest order. There's nothing about him that that doesn't scream hip hop. And the album is DMX, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. Is the one where he's in the bathtub, drenched in blood. Yeah, it's an iconic. It's definitely an iconic LP cover, and seeing as how the events of of the last 24 to 48 hours, and seeing this LP cover is even more ironic. Um, but yeah, it definitely represents everything about DMX. And if I'm an alien, I'm definitely want to find out more about this. For one, it scares the shit out of me. And second of all, yeah, I want to hear what's going on. And rest in peace, DMX, Rough Rider. Go.
I'm sad now. I didn't realize it was that bad.
Yeah.
Uh,
I hope I'm wrong, but like I said, based on the reports that I've read, it ain't looking good. So
you know, we
I'm gonna call Arizona. I'm gonna call it. So
man, uh, I'm very disappointed now. Disappointed is actually not the right word.
yeah, no. But
Well, I'll just mirror what you said, and yeah, this is a very iconic album cover. I think this was certainly something that intrigues you just by a glance at it. Um, he definitely has a horror movie vibe going there. Uh, this is probably his best album cover, so he did a good job here.
yeah.
It does work and absolutely deserves to be on the list. There we go.
All right, pull
I am
through,
bummed out.
pull through, Tommy Buns. But it ain't looking good. So let me check. Let me check this. See if there's an update here. See if they called it yet. Give me just a second here. See here. I'll go to Bing. DMX overdose. Let me click here. DMX on life support after heart attack. Lawyer says amid reports of overdose. See here. He's in grave condition at a White Plains, New York hospital after a heart attack, according to his longtime attorney. Say he is on life support, surrounded by family members, including his ex-wife, current partner, and children. He is 50 years old. At this time, he remains in ICU in critical condition. The statement said, according to TMZ, Earl has been a warrior his entire life. This situation represents yet another road he must conquer. So we're hoping. So they haven't called it yet, but we're hoping that he has a turnaround. But like I said, the report that I read said he had no brain activity. He was in a vegetative state. So that being said, we'll move on. Anything you want to add before we go on?
No.
All right. Next up, Raekwon, only built for Cuban links. Obviously, Raekwon is from the Wu-Tang Clan. The album cover is Raekwon and Ghostface. I like the color scheme. I mean, it really this LP cover definitely represents everything that this record sounds like, if nothing else. I mean, it's a perfect record cover, and yeah, it definitely deserves to be. I say at number 24 is good. It definitely deserves to be on the top 50. Go.
I agree. This album cover is so iconic that they did it again with the second Cuban Links album, and it worked there too.
Yeah.
Just the what I like about it is the fact that it's Raekwon and Ghostface together. They're on the album together, most tracks, and it just looks like this is brotherhood. And that's what Cuban Links are about. It's about brotherhood, and it's a fantastically shot image for one thing, and the color scheme and the smoke wafting through the air. It really works. This is a very, very good, and his logo. I love Raekwon's logo. So yeah, certainly iconic. 24, I think, is low, but I don't know how much higher I'll put it. But it's great. Definitely deserves to be here.
I agree, and this is my favorite Raekwon album, by the way.
I think this is everybody's favorite Raekwon album.
Yeah.
And for good reason, because this is a classic. This is a perfect album.
Every track is good, man. Every track.
Every single track.
Every track.
Even
there's not a skippable song on this record.
Nope. And even the outro, the not Morning Star. What is it called? North Star, the final track.
Mm-hmm.
Not much of a song, but it is fantastic. I listened to it multiple times. Um, it's a perfect album. It really is.
Yes, it is. It is. All right. Next up, Conway the Machine from King to a God. Is I don't know much about Conway the Machine. It's black and white, and it shows him from the behind, or from the side, kind of behind or whatever. The letters from the title is an acronym is placed where it's situated on or like around his head like a crown. Um, I mean, it's interesting, but not top 50. Go.
It looks really great.
Mm-hmm.
It is a good album cover. I'll tell you that. That's the thing that I can say about it. Um, so whoever designed it, good job. Um, a very good idea. Even the little cherub on the side here. Now they stole the cherub, so I'm not really sure how they got away with that. Maybe that image is in public domain now. I don't know, but they stole that. Um, Other than that, graphic design wise is great, and the black and white imagery is great. Uh, I don't know if I'd call it iconic, but it's certainly a good album cover. Um, I wouldn't put it on the list, but there's nothing bad about it at all. Conway himself, his music is all right. Um, I don't like looking at him, so I'm glad his face is turned the other way.
Well, and it definitely interests me. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would be encouraged to give it a listen and give it a buy. So.
Yeah. And I'm not dissing Conway's face. If you've ever seen him talk, he was shot in the face. So, the way he talks is kind of a little off-putting if you're trying to just stare at him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all.
Alrighty then. Next up, Ghostface, Iron Man. Obviously, we just talked about Raekwon and Ghostface, Cuban Links. Iron Man was I think was Ghostface first solo record. It featured Raekwon and Capadonna. There's I like the album cover, but I mean it's kind of nondescript. I mean there's really not a whole lot to it. So I would not call it iconic. So I can't base it on the fact that I love the album. I got to base it on the cover itself. So I would not say that it belongs in the top 50. Just from a layout, just graphic design, that kind of stuff. No, go.
Well, first
we're not rating the album, the cover. Okay.
I have to say it though. This is also a perfect album. But yeah, if I'm not taking into account the album, if I'm not talking about what I know about the album, what it's about, if I'm looking at this cover, I'm seeing these three guys in these very colorful, stylish clothing with these colorful, stylish shoes, dyeing the wallabies as they are. No, I don't, not really. The album cover actually, honestly, put me off back in the day. I didn't understand what they were trying to. I don't know how this has to do with Iron Man.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, there's nothing here that represents Tony Stark.
Right. I mean, this represents Ghostface, certainly. If you listen to the album, you know what
yeah, but what I'm saying, obviously, that's part of his persona is, Tony Stark. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but there's nothing here that represents that,
Right.
So.
Now, the CD, on the other hand, if you look at the label of the CD, it has like an iron chest with the Wu-Tang logo on it and like some bullet holes, to try to penetrate the armor. And that should have been the album cover. and I don't know why they put that on the CD instead of the cover. But you know, whatever. Um, I would say it's iconic in a way, but I wouldn't. It is not iconic in the way that Cuban Links is, and I would not call it one of the best album covers of all time. Uh, there's one off-putting thing on this cover that I just do not like, and that is the Iron Man logo, like the font there
Mm-hmm.
is done with this old Photoshop chrome,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks really bad. Maybe it looked good back in 1996, but in 2021 it looks old and it doesn't work. But other than that, I mean, I think it's a decent cover.
No.
You don't think it's a decent cover?
No, I don't. Like I said, it totally belies what's on the record. So like I said, if I'm an alien, I see this. There's nothing here that's gonna make me want to go buy this. I mean, if I've never heard of Wu Tang or Tony Stark or anything like that, it's not going to encourage me to listen to this, to buy this, as a hip hop album. It just ain't. Yeah. It's really nondescript. That's the best term I can use for it. It's nondescript. You know.
Well, I mean, nondescript is not right because it is very descriptive. But the thing about it is, it's not.
It's not describing anything that I'll be looking for in a hip hop record. That's what I'm saying. It's just him, Capadonna, and Raekwon with some shoes.
It describes.
But the title's Iron Man. I mean, there's nothing in the photo that even lends itself to the title.
Right, you're right about that. I'm not disputing that. It's just.
You're just being biased, man, because you're a huge fan. That's all.
No. What I'm saying is, well, that's kind of the thing. It is only nondescript if you don't know these guys and you don't know what's on the album. That's what makes it nondescript, I guess, if you want to call it that. But it actually does describe them and the album content. So that's just not the right word. I would say it's not overly appealing.
It's nondescript.
Okay.
All right. Next up is at number 21, Run DMC, King of Rock. Of course, Run DMC are one of the icons of early hip hop. One of the greatest hip hop groups to ever do it. And this album cover is definitely iconic. It definitely deserves to be on the list. I'm okay with it being at number 21. The thing that I remember most about King of Rock, man, is when this record came out, I was too poor to buy it. I wanted this record so bad, but I ain't have no money. So I couldn't even get it through like Columbia House or whatever. So I couldn't even spend a penny and send in a fake name and get it that way, man. So this record it kind of represent. It was kind of depressing to me that I could never afford to buy it. And all my friends had it. So and back then you couldn't even copy tapes back then that way. You know what I mean? So the only way I could really hear it is if I was over my friend's house or something or catch it on the radio or whatever. So this represents a lot of depression for me. But it is an iconic record cover. And when I joined the military and got my first paycheck and I was able to spend it, one of the first thing I bought was Run DMC King of Rock, just to say I had it. so go.
Very good. Yes, this is quite iconic. If we want to talk about it from a graphic design standpoint, there's a lot on the page, but it's also minimal in that way. In that you have the small font that actually goes over the whole background, and then their faces, their heads cut off at the bottom, which is kind of an interesting choice because you would expect in this day and age right here, when this came out, you'd have wanted their faces actually front and center. You can see their faces, you know who they are. But they went in a different direction. No, you can only see our eyes and our hats.
Well, this is their second record, so by the time this comes out, we already know who they are. And this photo, greatly, perfectly represents who they are because you got the gazelles on DMC's hat. So I like the choice that they went with for this particular record.
Yeah, it looks good. It's great. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying that, I think a lot of times people they gravitate toward faces more than anything else, and they went in a different direction on this one, and I think it worked really well. So, uh, yes, certainly iconic. I think 21 is pretty good, but uh, good job here.
Agree. All right, next up, Boogie Down Productions on the list again. Now at number 20 with all by all means necessary. It's definitely this is my favorite BDP record. Um, and the photo, of course, is a take on Malcolm X's photo of him holding the was it AK-47?
Yes.
Yeah, of him holding AK-47, looking through the window. But he's holding a Uzi. Um, Karis is holding a Uzi. Um, but I like what it represents, the take on the Malcolm X photo and everything, and obviously the album title itself lends itself to that. So there's not a wrong move with this particular record. It's in black and white. I mean, just I like it a lot, and I'm fine with it being at number 20. Go.
Yep. The original photo is powerful in itself, but as an album cover, that is sort of encompassing a lot of Malcolm X's. Um, would you call them teachings? I guess you would. A lot of what he stood for is this is also very, very powerful. This is basically what it represents is him taking Malcolm X's whole ethos and bring it into the modern day of that time. He doesn't have the AK-47. He has, the modern gangster's gun, the Uzi, and he's wearing his b-boy gear, So it's kind of an updating of that photo, and it's pretty powerful. And the album itself is great. If I didn't know who this was, and I didn't know anything about Malcolm X, if I were someone who didn't know anything about Malcolm X, or if I were an alien, if I were to look at this, I'd be very interested in it. So this works very well. But it's good.
I agree, and I always wondered because the title of the record is "By All Means Necessary," but the Malcolm X quote is "By any means as necessary." By any means necessary. I wonder if there's like a copyright issue or something. Is why the difference in the title there. I don't know.
Probably so.
Yeah.
I mean, it means the same thing, obviously.
Yeah.
So.
Anyways, next up, Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die. Now, this is, if you're going to put a baby on a cover, this is how you do it, Khaled. Yeah. This is how you do it.
Say that.
Yeah. So, this is a wonderful, wonderful record cover. Wonderful. It definitely represents, it represents the title and everything. It just represents everything that, as an alien, once again, I want to see what's going on with this. I like the fact that you got a baby with "ready to die" under it. I mean, and you got now looking at this album cover, obviously, and in the Wayback Machine, obviously, you got the whole P Diddy murdered Biggie Smalls thing going on as well. So it even lends itself to that. You know what I mean? So there's a lot. It's a very minimalistic LP cover, which makes it even more, haunting and more iconic. So, perfect. Go.
Yep, they nailed it. What I like, other than everything you just said, what I like about this cover is the color.
Mm-hmm.
Not only is it black and white, it's not black and white. Like, it's got the white background and a black baby on it, but the baby's not black. This is not like a black and white gray photo.
Mm-hmm.
It has a red tint to the brown here, which goes hand in hand with the lettering, the die and big. It's kind of a sepia tone, I guess you'd call it. And
sepia.
That's not, huh?
Sepia.
Sepia, same thing. A lot of times when people do this, they will use straight up black and white. And the fact that the color is what it is here, I think this makes it stand out a lot more. Uh, it just works. And yeah, the title itself, people people were questioning when it came out. You know, why does he have a baby on the cover? It's called Ready to Die. But I mean, there's a message behind that, and it is. This is also a very powerful image. So yes, nobody would disagree that this is an iconic cover, album cover.
Agree. All right. Next up at number 18. Oh my God. Next at number 17. Lil Baby, Harder Than Ever. I have nothing to say. I'm not gonna waste my time. It does not deserve to be there. Go.
From a standpoint of iconic hip hop albums, I don't know what makes this iconic at all. Like what?
Nothing. Not a thing.
In fact, it makes it generic. There's a man with ridiculous jewelry on, with stacks of money. I guess it's money. It might just be stacks of paper. Held up to his ear, like a phone. What? What?
Just nothing about this LP cover that makes me want to buy it, listen to it, or know any. Just nothing. There's nothing there. Absolutely nothing.
Like, what does this even mean?
Nothing. Harder than ever.
And it's called Harder Than Ever.
Yeah.
What? I mean, what makes this iconic? What am I thinking about here? And in fact, what this image actually encompasses for me is what I hate about hip hop culture of this day and age. Well, I mean, I guess hip hop has been like this for a long time, but like not just hip hop, black culture. What this represents is the endless quest for money and importance on money and jewelry and image and all that. You know, why is this important? First off, you know this man doesn't have this much money. And
He might.
He might. If he does have this much money, why does he have it all stacked up in cash in his hand? Okay, do you carry around that money?
I mean, he obviously represents, he's not walking around with that kind of loot, but he might have that amount,
He
in the
might,
bank.
though. He might be.
I hope not.
Because
Nobody carries cash anymore anyway. I mean,
well, you know what? I've been to like the mall or whatever, and I've seen guys pull out wads of cash, like big wads of cash. Who does that? Like, why would you do that? Like,
so somebody can follow you out to the parking lot and hit you over the head.
Exactly, but I tell you, people do this to show off, and they're putting too much emphasis on too much importance on money. And
Let me ask you this. Have you ever seen an LP cover or a photo of a white artist holding money? Ever?
I was gonna say that. That's what I'm talking about. Black. That's why I said black culture.
Okay.
Black people put too much importance on this type of. They think this is the most important thing. Being rich, showing people that you have money, that you have, designer clothes, you have jewelry, you have cars. That's important to people.
Well, but there's another side to that coin, man, because money is the most important thing to white folks, period. It is absolutely the most important thing. But the thing is, they don't flaunt it, and B, they don't want you to know about it.
Exactly.
But it is absolutely positively the number one thing on their list. But for family, right. God, and anything else, it is absolutely their number one priority.
No lies spoken there.
Yeah.
The money is the most important thing in this world.
Mm-hmm.
It is not, in my opinion, is not. But it's hard to deny that money rules every single thing in this world.
Cream, get the money.
That's, yeah. But Wu-Tang's cream, that meant something else. It doesn't mean what it means to everybody else. Everybody else who puts importance on money, cash rules everything around, that just means I care about it more than anything, and I will do whatever I need to do to have it and make sure you don't have it. That's what everybody feels, and that's not what Wu Tang was saying. But um, I know I'm going on a tirade here, but this photo makes me angry because people care too much about money. Money is going to ruin this entire world.
No, it's not. This world has been around for a while now. Okay, it's not.
And we're
So,
falling
so
apart.
if money hadn't ruined us by now, it's not going to ruin us at all. The thing is, man. The thing is that, like you said, is what you place importance on. Money is not the most important thing to everybody. Okay, you know, but try living without it. You can't.
You're right, but
Okay.
money is so important to most people
Yeah, it
that
is.
they will do whatever it takes to have it, and they don't care if you have it, if they hurt you and your family or anything, whether or not they destroy the planet. As long as they have the money, that's what they care about.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing about like climate change. Uh, that makes me angry. We will go without having clean water and air and food and grass and trees just so we can keep building things and trying to make money for other people so they can have money. Why do you need so much money? Like, if you are a billionaire, why do you need to keep making it? I don't get that. But they will destroy the planet to keep making money. And it blows my mind and it hurts my heart. Like you said earlier, I care too much. I do.
Yeah, you do.
And it's hard for me to not care because that's just kind of the person I am.
Because you're
So what I
liberal.
see, it's not about being liberal. It's about being, a human being, and not evil, and caring about people and wanting everyone to live happily. I want everybody to have money. I want every single person on this planet to have money, but I don't want it to be where in order for everybody to have money, you got to destroy everything and everybody else.
Well, everybody
need to battle each other to have money.
Well, everybody does have money. Just some folks just have more of it, and some folks have less of it.
Yes, that's right.
But everybody has money.
Everybody has money.
Yeah.
But a small percentage of people on this planet have much, much, much more money than they will ever need.
True.
And
But that don't mean they should give it away.
There are people on this planet who don't have enough, and the part of the reason they don't have enough is because the people who have too much are taking it away from them. I'm not telling the people who have. I'm not telling the billionaires of the world to give their money away. But why do you have to keep trying to make sure that other people don't have it?
Well, I don't think they're making money so other folks can't have it. They're doing whatever it is that they're doing, and it makes them money, and they're going to keep doing whatever it does to make them money. But I don't think the intent is to make sure that nobody else has it. You know what I mean?
No, it's not. It may not be the intent to make sure no one else has it, but it is the intent of if you don't have it, I don't care.
Why should they?
Well, no, it is. If the thing that I'm doing keeps you from making money, I don't care. And that's wrong. That is wrong. If the thing that I'm doing is going to make me much more money than I need, and it's going to keep you from ever making anywhere near what I'm making, or making anything that you actually need, I don't care about that because I have it. And when I die, I'm going to give it to the rest of my family, and they're going to keep doing the same thing. And you and your family are going to continue to be poor forever because of the thing that I did to make sure that I have money. There are people like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, man. But the flip side to the coin is, man, it's not the rich person's responsibility to make sure that poor folks have money.
Well, some people actually have the philosophy that
some folks do, some folks don't. That doesn't mean that the person who doesn't is evil.
But actually, what it is. So it kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier about Christianity. You don't have to be a Christian, but the thing about it is, as people on this planet, we all live on the planet together. And I personally, I can honestly say I don't really believe in this. There are people who do believe in this, but I kind of lean toward it sometimes in that we, as people on this planet who have to inhabit this planet together, our purpose, and people ask what's the meaning of life. The meaning of life might be to take care of each other, and we don't do that. And what we do is take care of ourselves, and that's it. And I don't think that's right. So I know I went on a big tirade here, but this coverage has really made me mad. And it's just, it is, what this photo represents is basically a macrocosm of the world. Like, this is what, well, I guess this would technically be a microcosm of the macro. You know, it's a small image that represents a big problem, in my opinion.
Well, I'm gonna close this off. You know, this diatribe by just saying, I know some rich people. Don't know a whole lot, but I know quite a few rich people. And one of my takeaways from folks who have a lot of money is that folks who have a lot of money, they want you to have a lot of money as well, and they will help you. You know, they will. They're not against helping you make a lot of money, as long as you're willing to put in the work to do it. They're not gonna give it to you, but
hey.
I'm talking. I'm just talking from personal experience. Folks that I know who have a lot of money. I'm not rich, but folks that I know who are rich, they have always been more than willing to say, hey, okay, you know, if you do A, B, C, and D, I'll be more than happy to, you know, help you along the way. You know, if you put in the work to make it happen. I mean, so I get that. Okay. So in that regard, I don't see rich people as being evil or greedy or anything like that. They just they don't want to give you anything. They want to see you put in work like they put in work to get loot.
Yeah, I'm not talking about all rich people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying there are no good rich people, because there are.
Yeah.
You're right. I don't really know that many rich people, but I know that there are rich people who they want people to succeed.
Yeah.
They will definitely do what they can to help you.
Yeah.
I know that. I'm talking about the people who make the most money in this country. The people who make the most money, they are not like that. They want to continue to make money to the detriment.
I would say like Jeff Bezos. I don't think Jeff Bezos is against anyone making money at all. He's not gonna give you a red cent out of his pocket.
I don't know. I don't think anybody's against people making money. That's not what I mean. I think they're not against people making money, but they don't care if what they're doing keeps you from making money.
Yeah.
And that is
wrong. I got mine, get yours. I mean,
you can't. If that's what I'm saying. If their thing, if what they're doing is keeping you from actually advancing, they don't care about that, and that's not the right mindset to have.
Well, speaking of someone who owns his own business, you know, and I'm grinding, trying to get to that next level. I get it. I mean, nobody's going to help me along the way. No one's going to do it for me. I have to put in, you know, the requisite effort to make sure that, you know, my investment into my business pays off. I get it. I mean, you know, it's no one's responsibility to make sure that, you know, my business is ultimately successful and that, you know, I make a whole lot of money and am able to, you know, build generational wealth, which is what I'm trying to do. I get it. I totally get it. So yeah, I'm definitely not a conservative, not a Republican or anything like that. And, you know, I am definitely liberal, but I get it. Okay. So that being said, we spent way too much time on Lil Baby.
Yeah. Long story short, nothing iconic about it. In fact, this is a detriment. That's Lil Baby.
Well, speaking of iconic, the next record up is definitely iconic. Yep. Old Dirty Bastard, Return to the 36 Chambers. One of the greatest hip hop album covers ever. It's his food stamp card. This tells you everything you ever want to know about this particular record, this particular artist. And if I saw this on the record stand, I couldn't buy it fast enough. So yeah, it definitely deserves to be there. Go.
Yep. It was such an ingenious idea.
Yeah.
And you know, in a way, it kind of debases him a little bit, but at the same time, he didn't care about that.
No.
And it's you know, it's at once funny and brilliant. And the album itself kind of debases him. So I mean, you know, I can't really say much about it. He did what he wanted to do, and it really it works for one thing. And as I keep saying, it's minimalistic. I love that. Um, it was just a great idea. This is a great album that represents the album. Uh, the cover represents the album very well, and the album's very good as it is. So, yeah, if people talk about this album, even people who've never even heard the album, they talk about this cover because everybody knows it, you know. So that's certainly that solidifies it as being iconic.
I agree 100%. Absolutely. So I have nothing bad to say about it. All right, next up, Travis Scott again. Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight. Okay, whatever that means. Um, I can't really even describe this album covers of him, smoke and wings and dark and can't really make out anything and it's kind of busy and no, it's interesting but no, it's definitely not better than uh, it takes a nation of millions hold us back. So go.
Yeah, I think the person who did this list is a Travis Scott fan.
Yeah,
So they're just
must be.
looking at this like, oh man, he's one of the most iconic artists in the world. He's one of the best artists of our generation. Yeah, he's done some great music and made some great album covers. He's really subverting things the way people are not doing it these days. I think this is a fan. Whoever this person is who did this, I think that's where we're getting this from.
Yeah.
This cover here, I wouldn't say there's anything iconic about it. Does it look good? It does. Yes, I do like this cover. This actually is.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not
I mean,
iconic. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's iconic in the way of it's going to be memorable for years to come.
No.
It is interesting enough to make me be interested in what's on it. If I saw this at the record store, that doesn't really exist anymore. If I saw this at the record store, I would pick it up and look at it, and look at the track list and try to figure out what it was about. Would I just pick it up and buy it based on this? Probably not. But it is very interesting and is well done. This is a good album cover. Um, it is good. I'll say that. But no, I don't think we're going to be talking about this, in 20 years.
No, not at all. Oh, but the next one you will be Mos Def, Black on Both Sides. Of course, Mos Def is probably more famous as an actor nowadays than as a hip hop artist. But this is actually the only Mos Def record that I own, so that I actually bought. So that should tell you everything you need to know right there. And I definitely love the album cover. Just a shot of his face up close and on the the back of his head. I mean, black on both sides. I mean, this it's very minimalistic, but it drives home the point. So it works for me. Go.
Yep, and it goes. The title is just it's literal, and it doesn't really have to say a whole lot. The album itself says a lot, but the cover doesn't say much at all, and it doesn't have to. Very well shot, very artistic shot. And if you want this, if you're the kind of person who wants a face on your wall, this is actually a photo that you can put on the wall. This is not the only Mos Def album I own, but certainly it is one that lots of people own, and maybe the only one they bought. Probably because of this album cover and the fact that the music on it is good.
Yeah.
And I have to, so yeah, it's on this list. And I have to give a shout out to what I think is his actual best album. I'm going to say two things here. His second album, The New Danger, has an even better album cover in my opinion. If you've never seen it, it's him with his face covered up like wrapped in bandages. And I think that looks awesome. I think that's a better album cover than this one, personally.
Mm-hmm.
The album itself is not nearly as good. Really is not that great at all, really. But he was trying to go for the same thing, and it worked as far as the cover goes. I think his best album is The Ecstatic, which also has an iconic album cover. That's his fourth album. So, yeah, Mos Def is a guy who knows how to make album covers.
Okay, I agree. But wait till you see what's up next. I used to be
Okay.
scared of the dick. Now I throw lips on the shit. Look him, hardcore. Why? Why?
Hmm.
Why? Go.
Hmm. Hmm. I'm trying to figure out what's iconic about it. Other
Not
than
a
the fact
damn
that
thing.
other than the fact that it was her debut album. It was her doing something that
It's not even a
that
good photo. You know what I mean? It's like it was taken
I
with a
mean
Polaroid or something, you know.
it looks
Very
like a
cheaply
Playboy
made.
cover or something.
I mean, it's just very cheaply made. It's like there was no thought or design to really. I mean, even the fonts and everything, man. It's like they did this at home, on Photoshop or whatever. You know, it just there is nothing about this that even screams any type of artistry, any type of effort. It's just her, you know, with a polar bear rug and some flowers. I mean, it's nothing
Well,
here. It's nothing.
if you go back to graphic design aesthetics from the '90s, eh, eh, you know, I can give it a pass. Um, I know what they're going for. I just don't see what's so iconic about it. I really don't. I don't think it's that great of an image, and I think the only thing that makes it iconic and makes it stand out is that if you're the kind of guy who's like, man, look, Kim sure fine, and you see the album cover, you want to buy it because of that. Okay, that makes it iconic. But
Yeah,
I feel like,
it appeals to your lowest common sense. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You
that's what it does. From that standpoint, it is very iconic. But as far as an album cover goes, no, not really. Um, and this also makes me lament her old face because she was very pretty back then, and
Yeah.
now she's not. Self hate, man.
All right, man. Next up, Logic, No Pressure. It's him underwater, and you got stereo system, computer, all this kind of stuff. Hip hop, paraphernalia, whatever. You got furniture, just yeah. I mean, this would definitely intrigue me to want to listen to the record and buy it. I wouldn't say it's not the 13th most iconic LP cover ever, but I'm not. I don't have a problem with it being on the list. Go.
I agree with that. I hate Logic, but I I know exactly what he's going for, and it does work, and it looks good. Like this is a very good album cover. Um, it doesn't. I don't think it should be on the list, but this is a good album cover. Um, Certainly not better than Nation of Millions, is it?
No.
Uh, yeah, but this is a good album cover. I mean, it was a good idea and it was executed very well. So, props to him for that. But no, uh, not number 13.
No, not at all. Anyways, next up is number 12, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Of course, Lauryn Hill. Her photos imposed on carved into a school desk. One of the old school desks. I remember like the desk that I remember back when I was a kid. Um, Once again, it's very minimalistic, but it represents it greatly represents the tone of the record. Even the title itself, the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, and it has a desk with her face imposed into it. So yes, it's definitely iconic, and yeah, I'm okay with it being at number 12. Go.
Yeah. Um, there's not a whole lot to say about this
No.
because, I mean, it is as I don't think anybody would actually disagree that this is actually a very iconic cover.
Yeah, it is.
It just, this was a great idea, too. Um, I love it. I don't have a whole lot to say about it. I just love it. It works so well. Um, I love the pencil. It's just, number 12. Yeah, that's pretty good being here. I kind of wish I'd come up with this. This is great.
It is. It is. It's very inventive. So you can once again, contrast that against Lil Kim, you can tell they put a lot of work and thought into her album cover. Whereas Lil Kim, okay, you just get on this rug, we'll take a couple of photos. Okay, we're done. You
Mhm.
know, meet you in the bedroom. I mean, you just.
I mean, I know what she was trying to go for. She was trying to. I think she was really trying to make it look like a Playboy photo.
I don't
And
care. I mean, it's cheaply made. There's no artistry to it. Just nothing. Just nothing there. That's all I'm saying. It's definitely not anything that's hip hop related. I mean, just
I
fuck
mean,
her.
well, it's a little wrong to say there's no artistry because in that regard, you'll be saying
There is
something
no
about
artistry to her taking a photo with her ass all hanging out on a damn
well,
rug.
with that makes it that says that okay, you don't think Playboy or Penthouse or anything like that. You don't think there's any artistry in that?
No,
Not at all.
no,
You think it's just porno?
yeah.
Huh. Okay. Well, I mean, I think
I
there
mean,
is some
I've
artistry.
seen nude photos that are very artistic, but Playboy, you're never gonna confuse them with being artistic. They're just trying to
Nope.
show you some TNA, and that's it.
No, well, I mean, so I'm not big on porno, but
I'm not either. By
yeah,
the way,
but
Playboy has some great articles. By the way, Playboy
who?
Playboy did not get the did not get the does not get the respect it deserves. The Playboy articles are generally really good. You know, so just from a journalistic reading standpoint, Playboy was is well I is nowhere near as iconic as important as it was back in the day, but I actually read Playboy. And I didn't just get it just for the for TNA. I actually read the articles. So anyway, go.
Well, a lot of people did. I mean, I didn't. I've never been in Playboy. I don't think I've ever read any of the articles, but I don't think I've ever actually spent any time looking at it at all. I was actually, kind of afraid to look at Playboys. But as an adult, I have an appreciation for art, and I think some Playboy photos actually. I mean, photography is good. Like you can't really deny that the photography is good. Like there's artistry in it. It's not like you're watching. There's probably no artistry in porno, like a video watching people have sex. Probably none in that. But these magazines, like Playboy. I mean, I don't know how it goes now if they still do it, but back in the day when they're doing the photos, they're just still photos. Um, a lot of it was artistically well done. I think I don't think it was just okay. Here's a naked woman. She's gonna stand somewhere. You're gonna take a picture of her. I don't think it was that. Uh, so I hate like giving props to something like that, but I don't think Playboy is devoid of artistry. And with that being said, going back to Lil Kim, I think she was going for the kind of artistry of a Playboy or a Penthouse magazine. It just it doesn't do anything for me.
We spend way too much time talking about Lil Kim.
I mean, a lot of people would want to talk about her. I mean, she is iconic.
I don't. I don't.
I don't
Okay.
want to talk about it either, really. I'm just, hey, we're talking about art. And you know me, I'm an artist.
I got you, man. Okay. Moving right along to more art.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Snoop Doggy Dogg, Doggy Style. Of course, this is Snoop's debut record. Obviously, anyone who knows hip hop knows this LP cover. So it's definitely iconic. I love the artwork, everything. I think somebody, he's like his cousin or his nephew or somebody's actually did the artwork. So it's very personal, and yeah, it's a great LP cover. Uh, Go.
I think it's iconic in the way that, everybody knows this album. And it represents the album itself very well. I don't like it, though. I don't like the, I don't like the look of it. I just don't like the drawing.
Mhm.
It just looks, unlike Schoolie D's, I don't think it has that much personality in it. But really, I just don't like the art style. So that's my problem with it. I don't like the art style. but I don't think that I would say it's a bad album cover, and it is iconic. So, if you're
And
talking,
it definitely represents everything about that album. So,
yeah, it does. So if you're talking about that, yeah, it deserves to be right here where it is. So I'm not dissing it in any kind of way.
all right, nigga. Okay, now we're going into the top 10. Now it's getting serious. Number 10, Beastie Boys, License to Ill. This is obviously the Beastie Boys' best LP cover. Obviously, it's the tail of an airplane. If you open it up, it's a joint. What more do I need to say? One of the greatest hip hop albums ever. One of the greatest hip hop album covers ever. Nothing wrong with this. This is absolutely perfect. I love it. Dope.
Yep, and it's so good that Eminem bit it.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know what Eminem's cover turns into. Do you know?
No, I don't
Oh,
know. I
okay.
don't care. I never paid attention to
I just know that's a terrible album. Don't listen to it.
it. I don't know.
So
I've never listened to it either, so I don't know.
don't. Okay, so what you said, everything is right. There's not a whole lot to say about it. It does deserve to be right here in this top 10.
All right, we agree there. Moving on. Number 9, 3 Feet High and Rising, De La Soul. Of course, De La Soul. They rose to prominence through this their debut LP. They were part of the whole new age, Daisy Age, conscious rap phenomenon and everything. I don't think they really got their just due as MCs. But this album cover is definitely um, iconic, and it takes me back to a time where I was wearing the flowered shirts, the rayon flannel shirts, and the Jabot jeans, and the patent leather shoes, and dancing, and with the high top fade, everything. So it definitely reminds me of a specific era in hip hop music, if nothing else. Go.
This is a fun album cover. And that's kind of what it says to me.
Mm-hmm.
You see these guys, and if you don't know the music, you can kind of tell from the cover that these guys are, they're young guys and they're having fun, but they have something to say, and they have a good sense of humor, and I don't know. This cover sounds like it looks like what the album sounds like,
Yeah, it does.
and
It does. It
it,
absolutely does.
it is it is very well known to this day. So by definition, it's iconic. Like everybody knows what this is. Even if it didn't have the text on here, you would know what this is. So, perfect, wonderful, right here.
Agree. Next up, Tribe Called Quest again, Midnight Marauders. Um, I think this is their follow up. This is their follow up to Low End, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, and because it still has the same girl from Low End, just in a different pose. And what I like the most about this record is in the background you got all these hip hop artists with headphones on.
Yep.
So I well, not all of them have headphones, but a lot of them do. Uh, it just screams hip hop, screams hip hop, and it kind of pays homage to hip hop. Because you look at this record, you're trying to see who you recognize, in the photos, the headshots on the cover. I mean, so yeah, it's definitely iconic. It deserves to be here. I don't think it's better than Low End Theory, but you know, that's just being subjective. But yeah, it definitely is iconic. Go.
I think it is better than Low End Theory, but that's because it's kind of my era. Um, uh, this cover, like you said, is hip hop. It is very interesting. It's fun to look at. It continues a theme, and it is again very artistic. You can put this on the wall, and people wouldn't be like, "Why do you have an album cover on the wall?" No, this is a work of art right here. So yeah, this is definitely iconic.
All right, number 7, Kendrick Lamar, "To Pimp a Butterfly." This is a black and white photo of a bunch of dudes in front of the White House. Um, the holding money and bottles and all that kind of stuff, and and posing and smiling, and they're topless. Um, so there's a lot going on in this photo. You got a I think a judge with X's on his eyes. I guess he's dead, and it's just holding the gavel. I mean, so it doesn't scream hip hop, but it does scream something. I like it, but there's no way it should be number 7. But I have no problem with it being on the list. Go.
I agree with what you said, except for it kind of goes back to what I was saying about money.
Yeah, holding money. Yeah.
And I don't like the. I mean, I know this is a certain subset of people, but I don't like this subset of people right here. Like, why are these the people who have to be in front of the White House? Why does this person have to have liquor? You know?
Because they turned the White House black.
Okay, but why is that? This is what, and this is what. I don't want to get into this. I won't do it. It's a good album cover. I'll say that.
All right.
It's not gonna. Number 7 is way too high. I don't have a problem with it being on the list, but 7 is not where it should be. I've never really. I mean, I think it's a good album cover, but I really don't like the message that it sends. So, yeah.
I know where you're going with this, man. So fair enough. All right. Next up, now this is a shocker. Next up at number 6, Nas, Illmatic. To me, this is number 1. This is my favorite hip hop album cover, LP cover of all time. I think it's one of the greatest LP covers any genre of all time. So I'm shocked that it's at number 6. I mean, it obviously it's one of the greatest hip hop records of all time, and that photo of a young Nasir Jones superimposed over the projects where he grew up is just amazing. It's just whoever did this, man, came with this concept, man, is deserves every accolade possible. It's just the greatest record cover of all time, and that's saying a lot coming from me as someone who adores Prince. So, go.
I think it is certainly one of the best album covers of all time. I don't know if I would say that it is the best, but then again, I don't know what the best is. I'm not willing to try to make that determination.
I will. I'll make a determination. You got now. I'm talking all genres. All genres. You got Illmatic. You got Nothing Shocking. You got motherfucking 1999. You got Ohio Players, Honey. You got the Funkadelic record that you were talking about with the girl head coming up out of the ground. So I mean, there's a lot out there, whatever. But you'd be hard pressed to find a LP cover as dynamic and as affecting as Illmatic.
I mean, I agree with that, but I mean, like I said, I'm not willing to make the determination of where it stands in the greatest albums of all time.
I am. I just did.
Because, well, I mean, I've not seen every album cover of all time, so I can't say that.
Yes, you have.
No, I haven't. I mean, and you haven't seen the ones I've seen, and I've not seen the ones you've seen. So, there are some great album covers out there, and you really just can't make that determination.
I can.
I can say my favorites, I guess, but I can't say, oh, definitely it's kind of like a top 5, the whole top 5 argument that I don't like having. Everybody's different.
Okay.
And nobody's wrong. So, I don't know. I'm not going to say that this is the best album cover of all time. I'll say it is one of them. It's one of the best that I've seen. And I guess I don't even have to, I don't have to say a whole lot more about it because you said pretty much everything else. I mean, and everybody said what needs to be said about this album cover. I think it's perfect for the album itself. If you didn't know, if you did not know the music, you would want to listen to this album based on the cover. And then once you listen to the album, you would see how perfect it is. And especially like from the first moments of the intro sounds like the album to me, like the album cover. Like it's kind of like you put the album in and you're listening to the cover. It's beautiful. So yeah, it's one of the best. I don't again I can't do that. You know, I'm gonna be definitive like you are, but it is definitely meant to be up here somewhere.
Well, I'm definitely being definitive because I know what I'm talking about. You don't. All right.
Okay, then why are you talking to me? Why are we on this?
Different opinions, man. That's all. Different opinions. Okay, see, and this next one is perfect. The next one up is Ice Cube, Death Certificate, at number 5. This is not better than Nas. There's no way. There's nothing about this LP cover that's better than Nas's. But I love it though. Uncle Sam with a toe tag. Death Certificate. I mean, I love me some Ice Cube, and it's a great LP cover. It definitely deserves being in the top 20, but it's not better than Illmatic. Go.
I agree. It is not better than Illmatic. Cover.
Oh, Maggot Brain, by the way, is what I was talking about. The Funkadelic. It was Maggot Brain.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay.
I didn't know you expected me to say the name. Yeah. It is not better than Nas cover. I think the album is personally. I do. But
So what now?
What?
What'd you say?
Huh?
So what did you say?
What?
I didn't hear you.
I think Death Certificate is better than Illmatic.
The LP?
Yes. That's just my personal preference. Because I love Ice Cube more than I do Nas. Okay? So, anyway, no, this album cover is not better than the Illmatic cover, but it is great. It is I like the colors and I like the darkness of it, but at the same time, it's really sharp. I like that. Personally, though, I think the Predator, even though it's just him like smoking a pipe, I think the Predator cover is better than this. But other than that, yes, this is iconic, and it is a top 10 album cover, I think.
Whatever, man. All right. Next up. Fucker. First, you don't like Good Times. Now you say Illmatic is not as good as Death Certificate. Nigga, you drunk.
Well, I mean, okay. Personally, I think they're both perfect albums. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to quantify them both. Like, it just goes through, like, personal preference. And my personal preference is Death Certificate, because I'm a bigger fan of Ice Cube than I am Nas. Plus, I heard that album more than I have Illmatic, because Death Certificate was probably the first rap album I really got into. So,
Illmatic is better. Okay.
Sorry. I mean, everybody has their own opinions,
And Illmatic is still better.
What? I mean, everybody says that, but is Illmatic really, never mind.
You hating on Illmatic? Fine. Go ahead, man. That's fine.
I'm not hating on Illmatic. I mean, I like the album. I think it is a perfect album. But how good is Illmatic to you? Is it like the best album you've ever heard?
Is it the best? It's the best solo record I've ever heard.
It's the best solo record you've ever heard?
Yeah.
Of anybody?
No, of hip hop.
Of hip hop?
Yes.
You think it's the best? So, okay. You think Illmatic is better than anything Ice Cube has done?
Yes.
And you think it's better than The Movement?
The Movement is my favorite. I think The Movement is a masterpiece. But
you think Illmatic is better?
Top to bottom, Illmatic is better than The Movement, but The Movement is my favorite. The Movement to me is, if I'm on a desert island and I can only listen to one hip hop record, and the choices are Illmatic and The Movement, I'm gonna pick The Movement. But that does not mean that Illmatic is not the greatest solo record of all time because it is. But
To you, it is.
what?
To you, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. I just. I happen to not agree with that. I do agree that it is better than the movement, but I don't. I don't share your sentiment about it being the best.
Yeah, I know. I know you don't like. I know you don't like the movement anyway. So you know. So.
I didn't say I didn't like the movement. I just don't love it like you do. I don't think it's. You think it's the greatest hip hop album of all time, whereas I do not.
Well, but then again, Deck is my favorite rapper of all time, so of course I'm going to think that.
Of course. And what I just said to you is, Ice Cube is one of my favorite rappers of all time, more than Nas. So
In the
of course
pits
I'm
where
gonna
the
think Ice
bulls
Cube
and the
is better.
wolves be.
So of course I'm gonna think Death Certificate is better than Illmatic because Ice Cube is. I'm a bigger fan of Ice Cube than I am Nas. Okay.
Try to break bad, you get a bad break.
Okay.
All right,
Let's
man.
move on.
All right. Next up, Ice T Power is number 4 on the list. No, it does not deserve to be at number 4. No, it does not. It's not the most iconic. It's not number 4 of all the iconic rap albums of all time covers. No, it is not. It is not. Go. The fuck.
It is not. I agree. I don't really understand. Where
I
you're
don't
coming
understand it. No.
from. I mean, you know, it's iconic in a way, but not up here at number 4. No.
I love me some Ice T. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Ice T. Whatever. But no, it's just him, Darlene, and some other cat. That's his DJ, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so there is nothing. It's just them standing there overpowered. I mean, it's not even.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Go, just go, man. Shit.
I mean, yeah. There's. I don't know where they're coming from. Yeah. Let's go.
Next up, Public Enemy, Yo Bum Rush the Show. They got it wrong. This should, Yo Bum Rush the Show is definitely, it kind of reminds me of Criminal Minded.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not better than It Takes a Nation of Millions. So if they're gonna flip flop these two, I've been okay with it. So they got it wrong. Maybe this is a typo or something. Maybe they, and when they did this article and they superimposed everything, somebody got intern was working on this and they got it backwards. So, but I mean, Nation of Millions, The Hold Us Back is definitely, it should be at number 3 versus Yo Bum Rush the Show, which is great, but no, go.
I agree. It should have been flipped. The only thing that I will say about this album cover that I like more than Nation of Millions is the graphic design of it is actually better. But other than that, yeah, this should have been flipped. It is iconic and it should be on this list, just not right up here at number 3. No.
I agree. Next up, Outkast, ATLiens. Obviously, Outkast, iconic group, right here from Atlanta. ATLiens is my favorite Outkast record, and this LP cover is magnificent. I think it's definitely top 10. I wouldn't put it at number 2, but yeah, it definitely deserves to be, in the conversation. Just a great LP cover. Go.
Yep. This album cover is so good that I got a T-shirt with it on there.
Oh, word.
Yeah, I spent like $40 on it because I had to have it. And to me, that's a lot for a T-shirt. But yes, this is a brilliant album cover. This is if you go from what their first album was to the second one, they went to a whole other level, and they just wow, fantastic. There's not really a whole lot you can say about it. You just look at it. Just look at it.
Yeah.
It's highly iconic. I wouldn't put it at number 2, but I actually don't have a problem with it being here. I wouldn't put it there, but I'm fine with it being here.
I get it. I mean, because it's just a dope ass cover. It's dope, Yep. So I get it. Just great. And I like the comic book feel it has to it. Just
And if I don't know if you remember, but if you look at the liner notes, it has like a whole story and everything.
Yeah, I do. I remember. I remember. It's great. Just magnificent. All right, that brings us to number one, the most iconic hip hop um, record cover of all time. Um, you know what? You know when I was doing this list and everything, I had a dream, and and in this dream, you know the of all of the most iconic record LP covers hip hop of all time. You know, there was this group out there that has done a lot of records and everything, and they've had some great LP covers and everything. So I just kind of imagine them being you know you know at the top or near the top of this list, and um, and that group is Wu Tang, 36 Chambers. But in actuality, on this list, it's Eric B. and Rakim, Paid in Full. Uh, no, no, not at all. I really didn't like this album cover, to be honest with you. I didn't like the outfits they have on. I didn't like the whole MCM thing back in the day. I was never into that. And obviously, they're holding money, and you already spoke about how you feel about money. I just didn't like the look of it. There was nothing of it. I love the record. The record is fucking off the chain, but the record cover did nothing for me. Whereas I'm just shocked that 36 Chambers is not on this list. I'm just shocked. You know, one of the most influential records of any genre ever released, and the cover is not on this list. But you got motherfucking what's his name? You got Lil Kim, and you got motherfucking what's his name? Obi Dobi. What's his name?
What are you talking about?
What's that dude name? Smash? What's Smadobi? What?
Smino.
Yeah, I am. Smino.
Tyler the Creator. Little Baby.
Little Baby. Yeah, you got all these motherfuckers on here, man. I'm surprised they ain't put damn Soulja Boy on this motherfucker, man. Shit, what the fuck? But you don't have 36 Chambers? I don't get it. I don't get it. Go.
I hadn't even thought about it. No. And now my mind is blown. And I'm upset. So, Paid in Full, you're right. This is a magnificent album. Really, it is. The cover is not that special, but it is iconic because, it's a...
I think it's iconic because of the love for the record. Not so much for the artwork.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of it's not a great album cover.
No.
Like, there's a lot wrong with this album cover, actually.
And the niggas holding 20. They come and hold hundreds. They're holding 20s. What the fuck? Little Baby holding hundreds at least.
Oh, well, I'm skeptical about what he was actually holding there.
Well, you know what I mean. I'm talking about what what he's representing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Niggas holding 20s.
Yeah,
Are they Tubman 20s?
That means they're not real.
Yeah.
And if you notice there's 100. There's 100 right there.
Where?
Not in their hands.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about they're actually holding. Yeah, I'm talking about what they're actually holding. That's what I'm talking about.
But I think there's some ones on here too. But yeah, I mean, I take it for what it is. Young guys making money.
Mm-hmm.
Paid
in full.
They're happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Paid in full. So they're not saying they're making billions of dollars. They're paid in full. They
yeah.
make money for what they're doing. He reaches into his pocket and his money is spent. He digs deeper and
still coming up with lint. Yeah.
So right here, if he has 20s, he's happy. I'm happy. So I get that.
But it's not the most iconic album cover of all time. That's the point.
It's not.
No.
And the Backpacker did this, and I don't know why the Backpacker decided he wanted to. I think he knew he had to put some kind of iconic album up here, but he picked the wrong one. So I think he has a bias because there's this disturbing lack of Wu-Tang on this list,
Yeah.
and they had a lot of iconic album covers, like Method Man's Takao 2000.
Yeah.
That cover is iconic, in my opinion.
It's great.
That might be the best Wu-Tang album cover. I mean, 36 Chambers is fantastic too. You know, the W.
The
Everybody
W?
loves
Yeah.
The W's album cover. People love that for
Yeah.
what it is.
I like A Better Tomorrow.
A Better Tomorrow is a great album cover.
Yeah.
The album itself is not the best, but you know,
Yeah.
The cover is great. So a lot of them have some really good albums. Jizza, Liquid Swords.
Liquid Swords. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
Liquid Swords is going to
Yes.
be on here, and it's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Even Beneath the Surface.
yeah. So I think this guy made a big mistake.
Yeah.
Uh,
But if you just talk about hip hop records, there's a lot out there. I mean, for example, Mama Said Knock You Out. That's a great cover.
mm-hmm.
Niggas for Life is a great album cover.
Yeah, I guess it is.
The Chronic is a great album cover. So, yes.
It is iconic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, The Dogfather actually has a pretty good cover.
Dogfather's good. Yeah.
Think of some other stuff. Like I said, The Predator.
One day it all makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cypress Hill.
Yeah.
Black Sunday.
Yeah. Black Sunday. Mm-hmm.
Even Temples of Boom. Think of some other things because there's so many.
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes. The Coming.
Yeah. The Coming. Yeah.
When Disaster Strikes. I love that album cover.
Yeah.
I mean, we have ATLians on here, but I think Aquemini is a great album cover. Stankonia, everybody loves that.
Mm-hmm.
I love Doom. Mad Villainy. That album cover is fantastic.
Oh man, The Jackal, Black Vendetta. I mean,
yeah, man.
Shit.
That's a very stark and minimalistic cover. I love that.
Shit. What the
There are
fuck?
a lot of great album covers, and I think we just screwed up.
Swaz. Mix a lot. Swaz.
Really, Mac Daddy.
Mac Daddy. Yeah.
cover was
Mac
pretty
Daddy's good. Yeah. Yeah.
There are a lot of. I mean, there are other Eric B. and Rakim albums that
I like Follow the Leader.
Follow the Leader. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em is better. Actually, the cover for that is better. There are a lot they just missed out here, and they didn't have to put Smino and Cardi B. I mean, Vince Staples. Why do they do this?
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. So yeah, the folks at allhiphop.com, you fucked up if you're listening out there. You fucked up. So.
Like I said, I think the guy who put this together is a big Travis Scott fan.
Mm-hmm. And a Smino fan.
And a Smino fan.
And Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
So this is a young person who did this.
This is a young person.
Yeah.
A young person who knows some good hip hop, but at the same time also listens to some of the crap from today. So.
Because there's very little on this list that's 80s 90s. Very little.
I mean, I keep thinking, this guy put Schoolie D on here, but at the same time he put DJ Khaled with the freaking baby.
He put Schoolie D on there because he had to. He probably never heard the fucking record. You know what I'm saying? He probably I got to represent for the old schools. Let me find a couple. Okay, this one's kind of cute. Let me put those on here. He probably never listened to a second of fucking Schoolie D. PSK, what? I bet he don't know what PSK mean.
Of course not. Well, he if you look at the description for the album, he does say Parkside Killers on here. So.
He didn't write that. Somebody else wrote that.
I mean, I don't know.
Parkside 552. Parkside.
I I don't know what to say about this.
I don't
I'm
either.
actually, I'm confused. And really, when I first opened this page up, I really thought Liquid Swords is going to be here somewhere, and I'm confused as to why it's not on here.
I'm
Like
dumbfounded. Yeah, I'm with you.
Liquid Swords. I mean, come on. Maybe that's the best rap album cover I've ever seen. I mean, really?
It definitely deserves to be on the list. So
I mean, he has AT Aliens up there, and Liquid Swords album cover is better than AT Aliens. I think.
I'm
Is
not
it- is
arguing.
it- I mean, I don't. Oh man, you got Eminem. The Eminem album cover on here.
Anyways, yeah. So the debate goes on, as we all know, as we well know. I mean, all these things are definitely subjective, and you know, it's like you said, you know, there's no perfect list out there. Everybody's gonna have their opinions and everything. I think mine is the most right. You think yours is the most right. And I'm sure Mister the Backpacker, he think his is you know his gets a whole lot more exposure than ours. So you know,
Yeah.
there you go. So
He got paid to do this, and he's probably happy. Probably.
no, he's unpaid.
That's what we're saying.
No, he's an unpaid intern.
Well, as long as he can get his pretentious ideas out there, he's probably happy.
Yeah, and we just spent the last 2 hours and 55 minutes and 49 seconds discussing this damn work. So hey, he's winning.
Yeah, and he's probably gonna. I wouldn't be surprised if he commented on this. Like, if I'm so dumb, why are y'all already talking about me for 3 hours?
Exactly. Why you spent 3 hours of your fucking life talking about me? You know.
I don't care nothing about you. I
Exactly.
ain't listened to the whole video.
Yeah, I don't fuck with you. Big Sean ain't on here, man.
So sad. No, that shouldn't. Don't ever say it again. I mean, did he even have any album covers?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure he does. I don't know. Who cares? Yeah, I'm not a big Sean fan. Just you know, I don't fuck with you. That just comes in handy every once in a while. So
Okay.
that's all. Anyways, there you have it. The 50 most iconic hip hop record covers of all time. Number 1 is Eric B. and Rakim. Number 50 is Criminal Minded by BDP. And in between, you got Cardi B and Smino and Chance the Rapper and all these other motherfuckers who don't deserve to be on this damn.
He's not on it.
Shit, I'm surprised. Okay. Shit. Shit. How you have a list of the 50 most iconic record covers of all time and not have the white boys on this damn list, man? What the fuck?
And they would
On
be
a
like,
mission.
Who?
Huh?
They would be like, who?
Yeah, exactly. Who?
So, I mean, I really fault them for that.
Anyways, that being said, what do you think out there, my listeners? What do you think? You know, which is your favorite LP cover in the hip hop genre? Chime in, comment below, and let me know what you think about this list and whether or not we're off base or whether or not the Backpacker's right or we're wrong or everybody's wrong and you have some. And you have Hami Ham's debut album cover. You think it's better than anybody else's. So who knows? You got any parting shots, man?
No, once again, I hope DMX pulls it through.
Yeah, me too. I just read an article here, man, that said that he's off of life support and breathing on his own. So hopefully, reports of his demise have been exaggerated. So.
So.
We'll keep close tabs on it, and if he does pass away, we'll definitely do a show in honor of Earl Simmons, aka DMX. So,
Yep.
That being said, comment below. Let me know what's up. Make sure you subscribe. Sign up for notifications. I'm still trying. My subscribers are growing. We're inching closer and closer and closer to that magic number of 1,000. So I do appreciate everyone out there. Please keep up with your comments. Please keep hitting me up, and I appreciate y'all taking the time out to listen to this particular show. I know it's about 3 hours long, so I appreciate. But it's shorter than the Snyder Cut. So, have you seen Snyder Cut yet? By the way.
No.
Why not, man? It's
I
great.
don't think. I'm sorry. I don't think I will.
Watch the Snyder Cut, y'all. It's great. It is definitely
I don't.
worth it.
Do you really think I want to watch a 4-hour superhero movie?
Dude, if you're gonna sit back, and I told my kids this when we watched, I was like, you can sit back and binge watch, episode after episode of, your favorite show on Netflix or whatever. But for some reason, it's okay to binge watch. Folks binge watch like all day long.
Guess what?
You know what I mean? But a lot of folks do. But my point is, it's okay to binge watch a series and watch 12 episodes in one day. But no, watch a movie for 4 hours? Are you crazy? The fuck? I mean, it's all about the optics. Just the thought of watching, I guess, a movie for 4 hours versus watching 4 straight episodes of, whatever show. It's the same damn difference.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You're right. But this is what I left out.
What?
And I don't, we're ending the show here, so I guess I didn't want to necessarily get into a big debate. What? I may have told you this before.
What?
I don't like the DC movies, and not only do I not like the DC movies, I hated Batman vs Superman.
I'm about to hang up on your ass, nigga. I'm about to hang up on you.
And so, I didn't see Justice League because I hated Batman vs Superman, and I'm not gonna watch this because I hated Batman vs Superman. So, yeah. And that was a 3-hour movie, and it was terrible.
Man, you are drunk.
What you say?
You are drunk.
I said what I said.
You fucking drunk, nigga. You're out your fucking mind. But
You are the only person who would say what you say about this. Nobody else agrees.
I don't care, because I'm right.
Okay? And I don't care what you say. I am wrong to you. You are wrong to me, and that's it. I hate it. I'm never going to watch it. Sorry.
Batman vs. Superman was magnificent.
Garbage.
No, it was magnificent.
3 hours of my life I'll never get back.
It was magnificent. And Justice League, the 4-hour Justice League Snyder Cut is a masterpiece. It is tremendous. Tremendous. And you are depriving yourself if you don't watch it.
The little clips I've seen of it were not.
Oh, my goodness. You have no idea what you're missing. But that's all right, though. That's all right. We don't need you in the Snyderverse. We don't need you.
You don't.
Okay?
You
No,
really
we don't. No, we don't. But Man of Steel is the best Superman film ever. Batman vs. Superman is just awesome. And Justice League is a great wrap-up or follow-up to Batman vs. Superman. And I love how all 3 films are interconnected. And it's your fault if you don't see the majesty in this work. But once again, everybody can't be as smart as me. So I'm not gonna hold that against you.
Good that you feel that way. I'm happy for you.
Yeah. So if you're out there listening, make sure that you watch Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, and Justice League, the Snyder cut of Justice League, and you would not be disappointed. So I will close my show with that. So, oh, by the way, and I just started watching The Boys on Amazon, and it's really good. So, and oh, by the way, Invincible on Amazon. I just started watching that as well, and I'm gonna do a show on Invincible. It is rare for me to get hooked on a show the way I've gotten hooked on Invincible, and it's animated. I really don't get into watching animated stuff, but Invincible is fucking awesome. I highly recommend taking your time out. If you watch the first episode of Invincible and are not hooked, then there's nothing wrong with it. It's something wrong with you. It is impossible to not get hooked if you watch the first episode of Invincible in its entirety. The last 5 minutes is some of the most shocking, most well done. Words can't describe how it affected me. It is hard to describe how well crafted that first episode was to hook a viewer, because they released the first 3 episodes. So there's no way you can watch the first episode and not watch all 3, because you are riveted as to what happens in the last 5 minutes of Invincible episode 1. Just magnificent storytelling. So
Right.
I can't praise it enough. Can't praise it enough. You know what?
I don't watch a whole lot of TV. It takes me a long time to even think about watching anything. Period. So
I guarantee
I,
I
I saw
guarantee
that
you.
I saw that on Amazon, and I thought about watching it, and I didn't because I didn't want to watch TV. So
See, when I saw the advertisement for it on Amazon or whatever, I was like, "What the fuck?" I mean, it was early in the morning. I woke up, I couldn't sleep, so what the hell? I'm laying here, so I might as well just watch something. So I put it on, and 3 hours later, I'm like, "God, seriously, seriously." Uh, I like I said, man, that last 5 minutes, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was not expecting it, and that's when it comes to watching film shows, whatever. I mean, I like it when I watch something and it takes me there, when it just totally engulfs me, and that's what it did. It was. I guarantee you, dude. If you watch that first episode, I guarantee you'll watch all three. I guarantee. There's no way that you couldn't. There's no way that you couldn't. You will binge watch all three. That's 3 hours gone right there. But
and how long are the episodes?
well, they're not quite an hour. I guess about 45, 50 minutes, about an hour, or whatever. But like I said, in that first episode, man, what happens in the last 5 minutes, man, it's just so shocking. It comes totally out of left field. It was a comic, so I never read the comic, so I didn't really know what to expect. So I went in naked watching it. So I was not expecting what happened to happen. And when it did happen, it totally takes the superhero genre, subverts it. You use the word subvert. It totally subverted my expectation. And that's what I loved about it. It totally, it took everything that I've come to expect from superhero films, you know, and it turned it upside down. And I'm like, what the fuck did I just see? Did that just happen? I cannot believe it. And it's not for kids. It's definitely for adults. It is definitely R rated. You know what I mean? It's very graphic, and they pull no punches. And like I said, if you're out there listening and you haven't seen Invincible, and if you watch it, and if that first episode doesn't totally, blow your mind, there ain't nothing wrong with that show. Something wrong with your ass. So, that being said, you got anything else you want to add before I sign off?
Nope.
All right, nigga. Thank you once again for joining me. Thanks everyone for listening. Make sure you sign up and comment below. And I look forward to talking with you next time because what was I gonna say? I usually close my show by saying one thing and one thing only. You know what that is? I don't know what you think because you just heard what Lonzo thinks.